This is the As Raw live podcast. I'm gonna have a guest today, or you know, that's the rumor, I guess, that I'm gonna have a guest today. So let's see if he hops on. I'm supposed to have him like last two shows, so he's been a hard guest to get. I'll be honest with you. He's a hard man to track down, apparently. But we're gonna talk boxing. We'll probably talk MMA. This will be the first time I talk MMA on the live podcast. A lot of boxing news. Talk about, of course, big fight weekend, huge fight weekend, busy fight weekend. You got Lubin versus Fundora. You have Golovkin versus Murata at like 5 a.m. for some of us. Even some of us, I think possibly 3 a.m. I'm not sure. I think the card starts at 3. And you have Ryan Garcia come back, right? After all the delays and everything and leaving his trainer and all that. We're going to get a look at what Ryan Garcia looks like. We're gonna get a look at what Ryan Garcia looks like on his comeback with Goosen, and see what the style changes are and what all that looks like. What's a complete package of or what Goose is looking to take Ryan Garcia, what direction? You know what I mean? So it looks like they kind of went like I guess the tune-up fight route. To obviously want to work, figure out what they're going to work on or figure out what's going to look like when it's all done. And, we've got Lubin Fundora, which I think that everybody kind of feels that this fight's going to end in a knockout. I see that too. It just feels, the thing is funny is like Fundora he really hasn't shown to be chinny at all. And like no fights you can like point to example where it's like, oh, he's chinny in that fight. But just because of his body shape and, the way he looks in the ring and because he's so long and tall, it's just, you can just picture him getting hit and crumbling. It's funny. And I think that's like the perception here is that if he gets hit, he's going to crumble to Fundora, but really he's never shown to be chinny at all, ever in his fights. He hasn't shown that. So, and Lubin has been the one that has been chinny, right? You have examples of him being chinny. And I was talking about how, I think Charlo took a lot of his confidence away. I think that if you looked at Lubin before he fought Charlo and, all the things that he showed, all his abilities, all his weapons that he showed, he was a very talented, offensively gifted fighter. Like he was very good at placing his shots, very good timing. He could sneak shots in. He was very precise. But since he fought Charlo, he's definitely way more cautious, like way more defensively cautious than ever before. Here, let's take a look. Let's make sure that see if we're getting a message. Okay, so he'll be coming on soon. He's he told me where am I at, and then he says I'm almost home. So this is the character that I'm bringing on. I gotta come to expect it. But yeah, so Lubin has definitely been way more cautious since he's been hurt by Charlo, gets hurt by Goucher, gets hurt by Jensen Rosario. Not saying that these are the lightest punchers, especially Goucher, who I think at the time was kind of surprising that he hurt him. But then if you look at what Goucher's done after that, he gets a knockout after that, then he drops Zhu in the first round. So that kind of it makes it a little bit more understandable that Lubin gets hurt in those fights, but he's been hurt, that's 2 fights now after being knocked out by Charlo. So there's examples there, right? There's evidence there that he might be chinny. And there's another thing that I'm hearing is that Fundora, doesn't necessarily hit hard. And I don't think that's true. I don't think Fundora has to put everything. I don't think he puts a lot on his shots. I think that he does hit hard, and that allows him to not have to put everything on his shots. And he could kind of just chip away at you. But I think he hits. I think he has some good pop to him. I really do. I think that it's not maybe one punch knockout power, but I think that you definitely feel the shots when he lands. It seems like that to me. So I think that if he, consistently lands on Lubin, that'd be a lot of trouble. I think Lubin kind of has to get to work early in this fight. I think he has to not let this fight kind of go the direction that Fundora wants it, where it's like a smothering inside fight, and he's using his height and his reach to kind of work in the clinch. I think that would really favor Fundora. And I think in a marathon of a fight, that would really kind of get Lubin to fold later in the fight. I think that Lubin needs to get to work early. I think he needs to be effective early with the shots he's landing, and needs to implement his game plan and land something that kind of deters Fundora from getting confident on coming on the inside like that. What is my boy Broadway? I heard your podcast the other day, Broadway. I listened the whole way through the interview. I appreciate it. This dude can interview. This dude, he interviewed, he interpreted, He translated. He's better than who's a translator that does Showtime? This man's better than him. They didn't hire this man. This man does the interview. He asks the questions. He's not just hearing someone ask the questions and then interpreting it. He's answering. He's asking his own questions and interpreting what he's asking, and then here's the answer and interprets it back to us. I didn't know how that was going to work. I honestly thought the whole thing was going to be in Spanish, and I thought I was going to be lost. No, it was beautiful. I knew everything being said. I knew everything being asked. It was an amazing job. That guy's a pro. That guy's only going to get better at it too. That's the thing that's scary is he's just starting really to do these interviews. He's getting big names. He's only going to get better at it. That's pretty cool. I was really that was a good job, Broadway. I thought that was an excellent interview. You guys check out his YouTube page. That's Broadway Joe. Check it out. But so a lot of great fights this weekend. Golovkin Murata, I think, is the most important. I don't know if I think everybody's going to try to downplay it. There's a lot of, Golovkin's not popular in boxing Twitter. I don't think he is. I don't think he really is popular in boxing Twitter. Maybe to some people, but not the people I follow. He's just not a popular name. His resume, I think that because he was built up so much at being this, all-time great middleweight, and, doesn't have the resume to back it up. So maybe that rubs people the wrong way. There it is right here. Felix de Jesus. Yeah, you're better than Felix de Jesus. I really believe that. I hope you take his job one day. Is he Dominican, Broadway? I think he is. I think he told me he's Dominican. So it wouldn't even, that's the beautiful thing. They won't even be like Dominicans are losing jobs. It would just be a smooth transition point. But yeah, so I get it. Triple G doesn't have the resume. He never will have the resume. He's never going to have the resume to back it up. And I mean, let's say he goes and beats Canelo and then goes and fights Munguia and then takes a Charlo out, then maybe they were like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this run at this, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anyone expects him to beat Canelo. No one seriously, right? There's people say that they don't seriously mean that he's going to beat Canelo. But he doesn't have the resume. So I get that people get tired of hearing so much about Golovkin when he doesn't really have all these wins to really back up and really all this talk and all this stuff. That's just it doesn't have that. So I understand that, but let me explain to you why this fight's important, because it affects Canelo, right? This is Canelo's next matchup. This will Matchroom sign Canelo. They signed him to fight Golovkin. This is the money fight on the deal. He fights Bivol first, right? They think they're going to sell that basically on Canelo's name. Now, I took a lot of crap today because someone asked me who's more famous, right? Who's more known, Andrade or Bivol? I answered quickly, but I didn't think, I was like, I really don't know. To me, it's the bottom of the barrel for both. But then, everybody gets pissed at me because I said this. And, sometimes you just can't answer stuff if you don't truly know the answer, right? If you don't really have the evidence to it, maybe you shouldn't answer those questions. But I did. I answered Bivol, right? I said maybe Bivol, right? Or it's about even. No, it's apparently, and I haven't seen these numbers, but from when I looked at Bivol, he has really never been a main event attraction, right? He did it one time. It was about 300,000 views on HBO. From what I heard from the evidence that was told to me, that Andrade has almost doubled that when he was the main event on HBO. So just the evidence right there. Wait, let's see if we got our guest right here. Let's see here. Polo.
Yo.
Yo, wait up. All right. Wait up. All right,
let's be real, bro. Boo Boo and Andre Beaver are about the same. I think when he was
I felt that way, but I don't have the evidence to back it up, so it's hard to say that, right? It's hard to say that,
bro. Let's not act like people say bro. Boo Boo's not known like that. I think him and Beaver are about the same, but I think more casuals do know who Beaver is because the HBO days. Like I said, bro, I've talked to the fans and they've told me that they want to see him versus Better Beef and Bivol and Usyk. Boo Boo's name has never got brought up. The biggest thing he had of fame was when he interrupted his press conference. That's how he got known, but then people forgot about it.
Okay, now when you say you talk to the fans, who are you talking to? I'm just curious.
Well, usually the Latino fans or the casuals, they always say, "Oh, he needs to fight Bivol or Better or Usyk." They're like, "Oh, I got a chance for him. Go up and fight Usyk." But let's be realistic, bro. That fight might not even ever happen. That's not an unrealistic fight.
Okay, but so you're saying, so the people you talk to, whatever you're saying, they don't bring up Andrade.
They don't even know who he is. They knew of him when he interrupted him, but they didn't really pay attention to him. They're more intrigued with people.
Okay, you jumped in hot. You came in hot. I respect that. I appreciate that. But let me. This is Polo. No. I know. I just want to introduce you to the audience, right? This is Polo. This is T. What's your @ on Instagram on Twitter?
on Twitter. You can follow me at give me. Oh, I can't really. I'm always.
It's T Polo or something. It's something like that. I'll
Yeah.
mention. I'll put it.
Polo
I'll
Torres.
put it
Polo
on the
Torres
thing.
98. Polo Torres
Okay.
98.
All right, Polo Torres 98. So I just want to introduce you before you're a
Yeah, I
guest. I can't just
apologize,
have
bro.
you
We just
jump.
came
No,
in
I
and
like it. I like it. You came in firing. Yeah, honestly, I always knew who Andrade was. I'm not gonna act like I didn't know who he was. I knew who he was. But I'm a big boxing fan. I know a lot of fighters that a lot of people don't know because they don't follow boxing. It's really hard. It's like if you told someone, I don't watch soccer at all, right? So if someone told me like, oh, you don't know this guy and he's like not a superstar like Ronaldo, I won't know who that is, right? And that's just the truth of it. So I feel like Andrade is like really, if you're a big fan of boxing, you'll know who he is.
yeah,
Now,
definitely.
comparing him to Bivol, I just kind of thought that they were just both guys that aren't really known. So I didn't think it was that outrageous to say like maybe Bivol screen share his Twitter account. Oh yeah, I could do that. Okay, good stuff. See the thing. This Broadway said this screen share your Twitter account. He's good on this thing though. I'm new to this Broadway, so I don't really know how to work everything like that. You have stuff popping up, but I will share your stuff right now. But what I'm saying is though, it's like I just, to me, like they're both guys that aren't really known. I didn't know it was a big difference between them. Apparently it is. So that's my mistake. If there is a big difference, but yeah, I don't know a lot of people screaming out for Andrade to fight Canelo. I know a lot of people casuals as what I'm talking about, like saying like, oh yeah, Andrade, I need to see him fight. I need this thing. I wish that were the case for him. Honestly, I like Andrade. I think he's actually interesting like personality in boxing.
I like him as a fighter, but I'm gonna be honest with you. But based on interviews and what I've heard, I don't think I like him as a person. Just my opinion. But I do like him as a. I'm not gonna go into the details. I'll message you. He just said some kind of things that were like, yo, that's not really promoting. Like, I understand, you want the Canelo fight, but the things you're saying is like, nah, dude. I used to like him as a fighter because I liked the trash talk. I liked that he was slick and he was a good. But then some of the stuff he said was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this guy. I could care less, like, if he gets the fight or not. But he kind of lost me, man. He kind of lost me.
Okay. Yeah. So everything I've heard him talk or whatever, I think it's all right. I think it's actually a pretty good personality. But maybe, like I said, maybe I didn't hear what you heard. So yeah, so we were talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, so he was kind of like talking down on Charles' resume and Canelo. He was talking down on people's resume, like certain fighters, and he was saying, "Oh, he went up like kind of criticizing Canelo. He's like, yo, he's going out there like, come on, man, like you can't talk down and say these guys are weak because like, bro, like I don't see many middleweights like besides Canelo and Jacobs that went up and actually fought. Like, let's be real, man. I haven't seen. So he kind of just made it seem like that those fighters that he fought were not that good. I'm like, that's kind of like hypocritical.
Would you say though that like he's supposed to do that, right? To try to get a fight? Like, would you say that's good because he's supposed to talk bad about Canelo? That's his competition. Like, would you understand that?
Yeah, in a way I do, but it's like, come on, bro. You gotta give credit when it's due. You can't talk down on these guys that arguably have better resumes than you, and it's they might not be better fighters, which I think it depends, man. Because each fighter has the good things that they're good at, and each fighter has like their flaws. But you can't really talk down on guys that have arguably better resumes than you and have a little bit better accomplishment. I get that he's a double weight champion. I do, like I said, respect him as a fighter, but I just didn't like some of his takes and opinions. I'm like, yeah, he's. But definitely, yeah, he doesn't have to be best friends with Canelo, but like you gotta give credit when it's due, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like it's weird because he's a fighter at the same time that Canelo's fighting. So like, if he chooses just to talk bad about Canelo, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you need to say good things about Canelo. Why? He wants to fight him. He doesn't say anything really good. Like to me, that doesn't rub me the wrong way.
It's just certain stuff. I mean, like for example, with Charlo, he calls him mommy, but Charlo, I've seen gives credit. Yeah, Canelo's doing, arguably he's pound for pound, he gives credit. I do want to see the Charlo fight and also the Boo fight, but like I said, bro, if he's going up and like he's fighting Dimitri Bivol, that's kind of a better fight and it's more of a challenge. So I respect his decision. So if he's going undisputed at 175, I don't really care for the other fight. But say if he's just kind of hanging around and But if he's going for undisputed, then I respect that move. But I do one day want to see the Charlo fight or the Boo fight. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset about it because he fought better competition at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I would like to see definitely the Charlo one. I would like to see Andrade too get a shot with Canelo. But if he's gonna fight, like say if he goes and he fights Bivol next, and then he fights Beer or Golovkin, which I'm not excited about. I don't think that's a good
I'm
fight.
excited. I'm excited.
Why? Why? Explain your excitement
Because
for
the
Triple
bad
G.
blood, bro. I don't know why people like. Let's be real, bro. We've seen this. Like nobody wanted to see. Well, besides the Marcus fans and like that, nobody wanted to see Marcus Pacquiao on paper. It was, but to the casual people, like, oh, it's gonna be the same story. And look what happened.
Yeah, but every one
Bro.
of those fights, okay, yeah, no, fair. But every one of those fights was competitive. Like there wasn't, and I know that every Golovkin Canelo fight's been competitive to this point, but this is like a big gap. And Golovkin's 40 years old by the time I end the sentence, right? And by that, his only time is only going to do worse to his game. It's just like to me, I could be wrong, right? Well, say Golovkin looks great this weekend. He just knocks out Murata, destroys him, looks like old Golovkin. Then maybe I could get excited for it again. But right now, as far as right now, like I'm not really excited for it. No, I gotta be honest.
I respect your opinion. I understand. Like I said, Marcus Pacquiao took 4 years, and they did it. And bro, they did 2 more fights. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I just
I
there's
get
too
you. I
much
get
bad
you.
blood. They need to close. I think Canelo should have did this third fight. My dream was that Canelo fought him for undisputed at 160, but we know that he was like, making the weight comfortably, so he had to move up, and he took bigger challenges and went
You think
undisputed.
that
Like
you think Canelo was having a hard time making the weight at 160?
I
That's why he
think so.
moved up.
I think so. Because I noticed, bro, like he moves up in a weight, and then I noticed that he'll move up to 175, and then he came back to 168. So when I saw him go up, I'm like, yeah, he's not going to 160. Like Sam right now, he's going to 175, and then he's gonna come down, and this might be his last fight with Triple G at 168. Because let's be real, like going on cutting down to is it like 7 pounds or 8 pounds, right? The
8 pounds.
difference.
Oh,
Yeah,
7 pounds.
like 7 pounds, yeah, like that's not that much of a difference compared to going all the way to 160. That would have been like, could you imagine, bro? Like he might have like really damaged himself. He had to come down 15 pounds. Like that's why I'm excited because I really do think he's gonna go undisputed and like Vivo is a challenge. So like I said, I respect his decision that he wants to go undisputed in another weight division. I wish he went undisputed at 160, but like, hey, that's here and there. He's still unified. He still became lineal and ring. I mean, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, I don't know if he moved up from 160 because he didn't make that weight anymore. I kind of don't think that.
No,
I
I'm
think
saying
that
that. Yeah, yeah.
I kind of think that what I've noticed, like if you look at Floyd, like he prolonged. Floyd had like a long prime. If I personally think he had a really long prime, like he was very good for a long time. I think a lot of that, especially with Pacquiao too, who was very good for a very long time, is they moved up to a weight where like didn't have to cut too much to get there. Like they kind of could just stay on weight all the time, and there was like
Definitely.
less damage on your body for doing that. So I think that if you can do that, like I think fighters that can do that are able to be good at the higher weights. I think they prolonged their career. So I think like him going to 167 was just like, why 168? Sorry. Like, why would he's like, why am I cutting even this much? Like I could go to 168 and make that very comfortably, always be in shape. Like when I go to training camp, I don't have to worry about like, getting down to weight or anything like that. And now he goes to 175, which he's probably not even honestly like cutting anything really at all to make
Yeah,
that weight.
definitely.
And it's just
And
all
then,
comfort for him.
yeah, like I'm telling you, he's doing the right moves for his career. Like, let's be real. I wish he went undisputed at 160, but like I said, he still became unified and lineal. And people give him so much shit, but they don't realize since 154, he's fought the number 1 and number 2 guy in every division. He's literally fought all his opponents in each division he's fought, besides the weird Mendos or like. But he's fought like he fought Jacobs and Triple G. They were number 1, number 2. 154, he fought Trout, Lara, Mayweather. 168, Billy Joe Smith. Like he's fighting the number 1 and number 2 guys. And let's be real, if you look at everybody in the pound for pound list, they don't always fight the number 1, number 2 guy. They'll fight, like imagine if an example, if Canelo fought like a Derek Chisora, bro, he would get so much shit.
If he fought Chisora heavyweight?
Yeah. Like no, if he fought a Chisora type of, basically, if he fought Gabe Rosado in between like a Billy Joe fight or Kellen Smith, bro, let's be real, he would get a lot of criticism. I'm not knocking down Usyk, but I'm saying, you see, like,
you're saying Usyk. You're saying Usyk.
Yeah, because he fought him. Usyk's a hell of a fighter. He's definitely up there. I'm just saying, imagine that, like, he fought like a Gabriel Rosado in between Billy Joe and Callum Smith. Let's be real. Gabriel Rosado is basically the Derek Chisora of 160, 168. Like,
Okay. I get you.
You get where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah,
So,
I get
like,
you.
If we fought a guy like that, and like if you look at all the other pound for pounders, there's some guys that they fight and like they don't get as much criticism as Canelo. It's like he's fighting the best of the division. All it
Yeah.
like when he's fighting the top 5 guys in those divisions. Like Bivol is number 2.
Yeah, you know what I did was so because I hear a lot of people complain about like what Canelo's doing. They think he cherry picks, or they don't respect. He
Pretty
always
dumb.
they say he takes the easy route or whatever, right? I don't agree with this at all. But what I did was I said, okay, give me, if you could pick Canelo's next 5 fights, right? Pick them. Like, okay, tell me the next 5 fights that you would think it's a legitimate run, right? And all of them were all kind of similar. They all had Bivol in it. They had Beterbiev. They had Charlo, Benavidez, and I think some had Andrade or Zurdo. Like there was like that. The number 5 was kind of like a random wild card one. But I was like, he's probably gonna do that. Like that's the thing. Like you want it now, right? Like you want the Charlo fight now because we know who Charlo is. We feel like that rivalry's there. It's Charlo's American, so that makes more sense for like the fans here. But like. But I think you're going to get that fight. Like, I don't think that fight's not going to happen. I think that fight's there. And I think he's going to fight Bivol and Beterbiev. You can't really be mad at that. Like I said, the Triple G one, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not pumped about that. Let's see how he looks this weekend. We say all this about, we say all this about like, what was I going to say? We say this all about like a Triple G. I kind of have my train of thought where I was going with this. But, yeah, I don't know. We say all these things about like his resume, but I think it's going to be solid by the end of like next 5 fights. I think we're not going to have, really not going to have no one for him to be like, oh, he avoided this guy. I think he's going to fight them all. You can't get mad at him if he's going after the top guys at 175.
Yes,
he can only fight what's there too.
Yeah, and and like I said, they criticize, but they don't realize that when he was at middleweight, the top. I remember like the Ring magazine. He was lineal, of course, lineal ring. Triple G was number 1. Jacobs was number 2. Billy Joe was number 3. Number 4 was Lemieux. Lemieux, my favorite. And number 5 was Murata. It's like, dude, like I don't get it. Like Bubu and Charlo kind of came at the end when he was gonna leave 160 eventually, and he fought the guys. Like it's just, I guess certain people just want. I don't know why they have this. Like I don't think personally Bubu and Charlo beat him. Like I'm really confident every time. I try to make people they just think that, but it's like he's not fighting the guys certain fans want, but he's taking on the challenges. Like he's unifying. He's trying to become ring of lineal multiple division, which he's already doing. It's just, I guess, at least if he gets Charlo, Benavidez, or one of those 3, I'll be fine. Like the fight doesn't happen. Like I'm not gonna I'll be like, oh, I wish this fight could have happened. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because I know.
Yeah, what I think. Bivol's like a high level fighter. Me personally, I think that, right? I think he's a very good fighter, but I think that people they're not confident that he can win this fight. So if you're not confident, you kind of like will judge it as like it's an easy fight. So that's kind of like showing how great Canelo really is, though. Definitely. Is that if you think Bivol, like no one in the world, right? No other person in the world would think Bivol's an easy fight for anyone else.
Nobody.
Like, that's an interesting fight.
Definitely. It's just, but if you Canelo, bro.
Yeah, but if you get Canelo, it's like, oh, that's an easy fight. Well, that just kind of shows what level you think Canelo is. You know what I mean? It kind of just reveals where you see Canelo is in his career right now. That Bivol's like a tune-up, like it's an easy cherry pick. Like no one in the world else could cherry pick. Call Bivol a cherry pick,
bro. It's just his Canelo. Every opponent he fights, I've learned this since after he fought Cotto. Every opponent he faces, they just criticize. They throw under the bus. Like I don't get how Bivol's a cherry pick. But here's the thing, though: if Charlo and Bivol were fighting or Benavidez, they would be like, oh, Bivol's the number 1 light heavyweight. He's the best light heavyweight in years. And that's funny is people were picking Bivol 6 months ago to beat Beterbiev, but since Canelo picked him, all of a sudden Bivol's not good. It's like I don't get it. It's people always talk down on his opponents. Like less than half a year ago, half the people that are saying that Bivol were saying that he beats Beterbiev, that Canelo will never fight him.
Yeah.
They were even saying that, like I said, there's fighters that he's fought that they say that he won't fight, and he fights them. A lot of people say he would never fight Billy Joe because of his tricky style. Fight him. They say he would never fight Plant because Plant.
That's a funny thing because remember when there were negotiations with Plant, and then the negotiations kind of like went sideways, right? With that fight, and he was going to go fight Bivol or Golovkin. That was like the rumor, right? Yeah. And everyone jumped on Twitter, was like, he's avoiding that style. He's trying to self-preserve himself. And then when the fight happens, and then he beats him, they're like, well, of course he's going to beat Plant. You know what I mean? Like, of course I picked him to beat Plant. Like, so it's like he kind of is in a no-win situation.
And the thing that gets me mad, bro, is they don't hold their fighters to that same standard. They don't. Like, an example, Can you imagine if Charlie and Boo fought Triple G? Dude, they would give him so much credit. They would act like this is the Triple G that came to America, beat Rosado, was on that run. They would act like that's the same Triple G. So I don't get it. It's just Canelo's fighting him. So it's like, yo, let's talk down as much as we can.
I don't know if Charlo fought Triple G. I don't think that like people would think that that's like Triple G in his prime. But
No,
maybe I don't know. But I don't think so because I wouldn't think that at all.
No, I wouldn't think that, but his fans would. Some of his fans, I don't want to like. They would think that they wanted to fight. They said Triple G should fight Charlo and Boo Boo less than a year ago. And now Canelo got him. They're like, oh, that's a cherry pick. Like I said, the Black Blood, the history, the trilogy. I want to see it. You know, even though
I think it just kind of reveals what they think of Canelo, right? They just kind of what level they think Canelo's at, that they're like, he fights these guys there, everything's a cherry pick or everything's, easy fight for him.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about I know we're talking boxing. This is good. Let me you have your picks, you think, for this weekend? Do you think you have confident to say for the main events this weekend?
Yeah, give me the fights and I got you. I
Triple
won't
G,
say like
let's start off with Triple G Murata.
Triple G.
Okay, it's Triple G knockout. Late stoppage.
Late stoppage.
Okay, Ryan Garcia to go.
KO. I got Ryan
Garcia. Early?
Yep, I got Ryan Garcia. He knocks him out.
I think Ryan Garcia gets the stoppage. I think Tago's going to be a lot more durable in this fight than people are expecting. I think he might even take some big shots, but I'll take Ryan Garcia by late round stoppage. I think this is going to be more of an inside fight. I think that Gooson's going to make Garcia an inside fighter. I really do believe that.
I think the ring rust will show as well, but I think Garcia pulls it off though.
Okay. And you got Lubin Fundora. You got Fundora. I got Fundora too. I'll take Fundora late in that fight. I think that he wears him down.
He wears him down.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Lubin's punches. I think Fundora is a dangerous guy.
I do too. I like. I think the winner of this it's an excellent fight for the winner of Charlo Castano. Like I really like the matchup with the two winners facing each other. I think the winner of this also excellent fight for Zoo if they fight. But I think that if Fundora wins, I think that people are probably going to be like, that's a really interesting matchup just because of how long he is and everything like that. I think that, might even people sway to pick Fundora to win the winner of those fights if he wins the fight.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested, man. The size, the difference, he could definitely bring a lot of people that a lot of casuals because his height. Like, how does he make 154? Who knows? But
yeah, he stands out. Okay, we got you're the first person that I could talk MMA with. So let's go to UFC.
Let's get it. I got my picks, man.
Okay, UFC 273. Let's start off with the main event: Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. The matchup that I'm not excited about. I'll be honest with you.
I know, man. I'd rather see Holloway.
Yeah, I'd rather see Holloway. And the part that's horrible is that Holloway can fight this weekend. He's he's the replacement fighter for this weekend. But because he got injured, had to pull out, but then turns out that he got the go ahead to fight, and they already had made the zombie fight, so they couldn't bring him back.
No, they're probably trying to build. I don't know. They do weird moves, but I got Volkanovski.
Yeah, I got Volkanovski on that too. I'll take him by decision in that fight. Sterling Yan, number 2.
Peter Yan knocks him out 4th round.
I'll take Yan. I'll take Yan in a beat down too. I'll take him a stoppage. I think I took him stoppage in the 3rd, I believe. I think he'll be way more aggressive in this fight. I thought in the first fight he kind of stood back a little bit to figure it out, but I think he knows him. It's funny because it's a rematch of, to me, a one-sided fight until obviously he got DQ'd, but it's just going to continue like the same way it was going. Okay,
and he has a lot of animosity. He's angry. How many fights this fight got rescheduled? They did him dirty with the interim belt. No, he's angry, bro. He's gonna make Aldo pay. My bad. Sterling pay for the Sterling. Yeah, I got Sterling pay for the waiting, the pulling out. No, he's mad. He's angry. He's
gonna go get him.
He's coming for blood.
And for me, the main event in my eyes, Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns.
I can't pronounce his name, but I'll call him the Russian goat, the Sweden Russian goat.
Okay, yeah, I got him too.
By submission.
You got him by submission?
Yeah, submission.
Man, Gilbert Burns is good on the ground though. He's good jiu-jitsu. Like he's a high-level jiu-jitsu fighter.
Oh, but Hamzat is strong, bro. He's dangerous. I'm telling you right now, give it down. Him and Usman will fight later for that welterweight title.
That's what I'm hoping. They haven't announced Usman versus Leon Edwards, but I think that's next. I'm pretty sure. But if if Kamzat looks really good in this fight, like he just completely destroys Burns, he's gonna make a very good case just to put him in a title shot next.
He
Or
needs. I mean,
Kobe Covington, Kobe Covington's right there, and that's an excellent fight right there for
no,
Kamzat
bro. I
too.
want to see Usman, bro. Usman's already been like he fought, Covington twice. He's about to rematch. Didn't him and Leon Edwards already fight?
Yeah, they did before he had the belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In that fight, like I think I'll give him because Leon Edwards does deserve the rematch, but like get it out the way, do it in July, then make the winner fight late December. Fight Hamza. No, I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be a fight. Like his ground game is impressive, man.
I
I've
want to
never
see it.
seen.
I wrote like a thing on who I thought would be the champ at the end of the year for each weight division in the UFC. I had Kamzat winning the belt. A lot of people thought that was crazy, but I really buy this
No,
guy's talent.
no, you're not. I'm telling you, I see it. The ground game is gonna be the key, bro. He's just too good on the ground game. I've not seen anybody this dominant since Khabib. I know Khabib
Yeah,
just retired, but I don't think like Khabib was just like on another level. And I think he's close to that. Like his ground game is just gonna be too vicious, bro. Like you saw how
I mean,
Khabib handled it. He handled people that were so good on the standing up game. He would make it look easy. Like he dominated McGregor. I've never seen McGregor get dominated like that in the octagon, at least.
yeah, he did. He did. I actually think McGregor did some all right stuff in that. Like at least I thought he
Oh, he
was.
definitely did, but
Yeah, he did. He
Khabib
was
was
all right.
just
He doing some all
another.
right stuff, but yeah, Khabib was too much for him. It really was. But yeah, I think Kamzat. I'm excited to see. I'm curious now if Burns could keep this fight standing. We never really seen Chimaev really stand up for a
That's
long
my only
duration.
worry. That's
The
my
one time
only
he
worry.
did, he landed a one punch knockout, right? He did land that one punch knockout, but that
Yep,
still leaves a lot of questions on like what it looks like, over 2 or 3 rounds, right? I don't know what that looks like. I don't know.
definitely. No, I'm a little worried about this. It's standing up because we haven't seen much because his ground game. It's like, yo, that ground game always saves him, and I think he's gonna dominate a lot of guys. But let's see what happens. But I'm telling you, I think he submits Burns.
Broadway says Khabib was elite, best he's ever seen.
Yeah. Hey, this is an inside joke between me and Broadway. He's a
Okay.
Euro bum. He's a Euro bum. Yo, I've noticed that Eastern Europeans in MMA get a lot of love and praise, but in boxing, they have to earn the respect.
You know why though, right?
Yeah, I know why. I know
Because
why.
MMA fans, well, MMA is predominantly a white fan base. I mean, if we're just being honest, it's a predominantly white
Yeah,
fan
no,
base.
you
So
keep it 100, and that's why I like MMA sometimes. Cause bro, it's not there's not so much trouble. Obviously, you got the fans that are gonna support, but people appreciate like bro, people really like Khabib no matter where he was from, and it's just I don't know, bro. People are less biased in MMA. I've noticed. That's why I'm a little like sometimes I don't even like.
well, I think that boxing, like a lot of people go with like their country or so Broadway got what you were saying. He put the laughing emojis on there. But yeah, in I think in MMA people kind of go with like the style they like. Like it's usually
Thank
mostly
you.
separated by the
Eh,
styles. Like if you're a wrestler, you go with wrestlers. If you do jiu-jitsu, you do a jiu-jitsu guy. If you're a boxer, you're gonna go with the stand-up guy. If you're a kickboxer, all those things, right? But in boxing, everybody boxes, right? So then you kind of go with your country or your ethnicity or race right there.
but
Like that's
but we
always kind
have
of been how
styles
boxing
too.
was.
But we have styles
They
as
do
well as in
their
boxing.
styles, but a lot of times like boxing works more like the Olympics, and I don't think MMA really works like the Olympics. I think MMA works
Definitely.
more like well,
Like
basically what MMA is like. It's just a mixture of styles, so people just end
yeah,
up kind of going with their
you got
style.
kickboxing, you got
Yeah,
wrestling,
yeah.
and
So you
which
kind of just end up going with your style. Like if any you put someone right that's just watching that's like watches boxing, right, and then you put them and watch UFC, they're automatically gonna like the guy that stands up. They're gonna be like, oh, I like this guy. He keeps it standing, right? You're automatically gonna like that. If you're a wrestler, you want to believe that what you know is gonna dominate. So then you go for the wrestler. You don't want to think that someone else, another fighting style, would dominate you.
definitely no. I like the wrestling. I like when it's like they're wrestling and they're going at it on the ground. Too much wrestling sometimes gets boring, but I like wrestling. I definitely appreciate it, man. I I enjoyed watching Khabib. Like I enjoyed watching what was that Daniel Cormier, like Cain
Yeah, Cormier.
Velasquez, like
Cormier.
those guys were beasts. Yeah. But like Cain Velasquez, like those guys were on the next level. Like I enjoyed that. More, like if you showed someone that's a casual, they might not like, like when they were doing the ground games, because I'll be like, yo, that's boring. But it's like us as MMA fans, we appreciate that because we know, like, yo, this is next. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, I think like if a lot of people say they don't like a lot of boxing fans too. Like you go on Twitter, they won't want to talk MMA at all. I have like another
Nah,
podcast on Spotify, dude. I've had so many like DMs like telling me that like they'll listen, but they can't do like both boxing and MMA in it. Like they need them separated. Like they don't want to hear the
no, I'll
MMA.
do
So
both, man. I do both, man. I've been watching, like I said, I know my stuff on both. So, like, I've been watching MMA since the Chuck Liddell days, the Iceman,
check it down, Tito.
Tito
Rest in
Ortiz.
peace, bad
Yep,
boy.
greatest.
Uh,
They had a fight not too long ago.
yeah,
Oscar
they
De
did
La
on a
hosted
Golden Boy MMA.
it. That
Yeah,
was they shouldn't have did that, but that was
yeah, it
kind of
was a
sad.
disaster. It was a
That was a
disaster.
disaster. He knocked him out like in 40 seconds. Like I don't know how they sanctioned that. Like Golden Boy was just I don't know
I
what he
don't
was on.
understand. Is it? I don't even get how why Golden Boy attacked it like that. Like if you there is a market to do that, right? There's a market. So say if you have a promotion like Golden Boy, right, and you make all your money in boxing, so you don't need to rely on MMA. You could do one-offs like every once in a while. Like we're gonna
Like a
do
show.
yeah, we're gonna do a one-off card, right? It's not like a continuation. We're not gonna have one every month, but maybe once a year or twice a year. Whoever's a free agent or whoever's available, find the two best guys available and make them fight each other. Like the thing that's
Definitely.
stupid is to try to do it like, oh, we're gonna. You know what was stupid? I knew it was gonna fail because I was watching. It was a Ryan Garcia card. I believe it was Ryan Garcia card. Maybe it might have been Bernard Hopkins because this was actually I think way before Ryan Garcia. It was a Bernard Hopkins card, and the Golden Boy announcer. It was like a boxing announcer. They announced that they were going to do an MMA card, and he goes, "Yep, we're doing UFC." And I was like, "This idiot! He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about." He called like a promotion instead of what the hell the sport's called,
Oh
and
my
that's when I knew I
god.
was like, "They're going to fail." I was like, "There's no chance." They
Fucking
put no
oh
thought.
my god. They
Yeah, I was
could have
like,
got it. Yeah, they're
yeah, I
using
was like,
it.
they put no thought
Oh,
into this. I was like, it's the stupidest
could have
thing
just
I've
said
ever heard.
MMA. All you had to say was MMA.
Yeah, he's like, "No, we're doing UFC," and I was like, "Oh, this idiot." That's like saying we're doing NFL. It's the
Yeah,
stupidest thing I've ever heard. So they put no thought into that thing at all. So that was a disaster.
definitely, man. What do you think of John Jones? Does he ever come back? He did my man's Dominic Reyes, man. I don't care what anybody says. Dominic Reyes won that fight.
I thought Dominic Reyes won that fight too. I
Yeah,
thought
no, no,
Dominic
no.
Reyes won that fight
And if
too.
they argue, be like, yo, why did John Jones take 2 years off?
I honestly thought
I,
that I thought he lost to Thiago Santos, if I'll be honest with you.
that was another one that was. I gotta
It was
rewatch that
close.
fight.
That was a close
But
fight. Like
I don't know, man. I
he
think that
couldn't get
was
going. It was like sometimes John Jones just wins fights just because like
easy.
it's John Jones, so like people think he's doing something calculated. And I'm like, it seems like me, he's having a hard time just getting his offense going. Like there was a point where he would get in these 5-round stand-up fights, right? And then after people like Brendan Schaub, you know who Brendan Schaub is?
Yeah, I know Brendan Schaub, the one
Yeah,
that was on
okay.
the Ultimate Fighter with.
Exactly. So he has like a podcast, and he was like, oh, the funny thing is like John Jones could take this guy down whenever he wants, and it's like, okay, idiot, then he should have did that in the fight. Like you can't just say that like just to make up for how bad he looked in the fight. No, he didn't look good, and he didn't take him down, and he didn't dominate the fight. And Thiago Santos is not a high level light heavyweight, like he just isn't. Okay, so you can't be like. You can't look bad and then have excuses and say you could have did this whenever. It's like,
Yeah,
no, that's not the way it works.
he's a blown up middleweight, right?
Thiago Santos?
Wasn't he at middleweight?
I don't think so. No, he's big. Maybe he was, but I don't think so. He's
Oh,
pretty
I'm
big.
telling you. No, but yeah, and the thing is, bro, the reason why I think Reyes was he won that because look how many times Reyes dropped him. I don't think I've ever seen Jones got dropped like that, and he was getting dominated both on stand up and on the ground game. Like I don't know, man. I was a little disappointed. And then Dominic Reyes went on to like his I don't know what happened, but you know the story, man. He went on.
Yeah, well, he goes out to get knocked. He goes and gets knocked out. The next fight against Jean Blachowicz.
Blachowicz, yep, and then he
But
loses
Blachowicz hits
to
hard. I didn't think highly of Blachowicz, but he
he
ends
hits
up going on
hard.
like a pretty damn good run.
Yeah, then he
Yeah, you're right. This dude was a middleweight. Yeah, he fought
yeah.
Musasi, Nate Marquardt. Yeah, yeah. Uriah
I
Hall.
told you,
Yeah,
man.
damn, Thiago Santos is huge. I'm surprised he
I
went middleweight.
know. Oh, you're right. You're right, Hall, man. I remember the Ultimate Fighter. You ever watch that? I used to love those
Uriah
shows.
Hall was like supposedly the next Anderson Silva when he was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, Kevin Gosselin was supposed to be. I mean, at least he got to an intro, but I'm kind of sad. Like after he lost to Israel to sign him, man, he went down. Like
He lost like
he lost
everything he had. Yeah, that was
he was,
really
I
strange
think he
because
lost
he
the
was the only
motivation.
he was the only guy to really give Israel that work. Like
Still, like to
in the
this day,
stand-up. Yeah, in the
yep,
stand-up. Yeah, he gave him that work. And
bro.
he just could never get it together after that. It really, I think that fight took a lot out of him, honestly. I think that fight took a lot out of him.
I've noticed that guys get like these big fights against like the top guy of the division, and they just go down, man. It's like, what's going on? Dominic Reyes, him. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Brandon Moreno, man. Hopefully he comes back because he was on a run, and then
Well, I think Moreno, though, the thing with Moreno is he wants, so he knows what it takes to win at that level. I think what happens a lot of these guys is they think like I performed my best and it still came up short, and I think that that's like really
They lose
demoralizing.
motivation, the
Yeah, yeah,
confidence.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
hard to
I
keep
noticed
going
that.
back and be like, I'm gonna get better. And it's like, how the hell can I get better than what I just performed? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's that's a really hard thing to do. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's what happens to guys. But Gastelum is like really surprising to me because he just looks horrible. And like his boxing was all right. He had all right
His
boxing in MMA.
boxing,
Yeah,
definitely, bro. And he was the youngest guy to win the Ultimate Fighter. Like, dude, he looked promising. He was at welterweight, couldn't make weight. He gave Tyron Woodley some, and then he was just at middleweight. He was when he knocked out Bisping. That was like, yo.
yeah.
But to be fair,
Yeah.
Bisping was a he
The
didn't have to
older.
take that fight. No, remember he fought George St. Pierre like 2 weeks prior, and then like it was
Oh,
the
and then he
same
came
month.
back right away.
He
Then he
fought
came
in
back right
China.
away.
It was in China.
Yeah. I
George
remember.
St. Pierre, man. Okay, I'm gonna ask you since who would have won prime for prime, George St. Pierre or Usman?
I think St. Pierre.
I got
I think
St. Pierre.
Usman's very good fighter. I'm not gonna try to downplay Usman. He's
No,
probably
we
one of
know
the best,
that.
probably the best fighter right now. But I think that like his stand up is a little overblown because it's really reliant on his wrestling. And you saw like when he fought Kobe, that when he couldn't get the takedown, like his stand up really fell apart. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like,
Kobe was especially in the first fight, the beginning.
yeah, exactly. So I think that in the second fight, like I thought he got really wild and he just looked
He didn't
out
look
of control, in my opinion. So I think GSP was way more controlled. Like if GSP gets his jab going, he's really tough to beat. Like GSP with the
definitely.
jab is like
And bro,
he's a tough.
his ground
No,
game, he
yeah, his
was,
ground, and you got to think
and he
too
had
that
no
GSP was
experience
not.
in wrestling.
Yeah, he was
He
not a
had no,
wrestler. He was not a
and he would out
wrestler, and he
wrestle
ends up
guys that
becoming
were
the best
state
wrestler.
champions, and that were
Yeah,
Olympians. Like, and be honest, back then when he was around, the welterweight division was way more stacked than what it was right now. He beat some like Matt
man, that's hard to
Griffin.
say. That's hard to say
No,
because
I can't remember, man. It's
Koscheck. Okay, he has
yep,
Koscheck. He has Matt
Nate
Hughes.
Diaz.
He goes through Nick Diaz. He goes through Condit, Carlos Condit. He goes through.
Oh, yep. And then he goes to the
There's
guy
a
that
big name
upset
I'm
him, the
missing.
one that ultimate fighter. I can't
Fitch.
remember.
He beats Fitch. He beats
Yep,
Matt Serra.
Matt Serra, and Matt
The
Serra
thing
won
is
the
though, okay,
ultimate
like
fighter.
okay.
That
So
was
Matt
more
Serra,
stacked than right now. That was more stacked
I
than
don't
it
know.
was.
Matt Serra, okay, Matt Serra's not like a champ right now. He's not a contender right now. Koscheck was never truly like an elite fighter. We have to be honest. He never was an elite fighter. He was, what the best of what was left, but he was never elite. Matt Hughes was elite at the time we beat him. He also beat the Alves, right? And Pitbull was
Yep.
like at that point was like supposed to be the next big thing, right? He smokes him at UFC 100. He smokes BJ Penn, who's an all-time great.
Oh, yep. I forgot about BJ Penn.
Yeah, he smokes BJ Penn. He smokes Nick Diaz. He smokes. I think he for sure has a better resume than Usman. I think that. I think he has a better resume because you got to understand that Kobe Covington, but before beating Masvidal, never really beat anybody. I mean, he beat Tyron Woodley when he was already way past his prime, not his best, and then he beats who else does Kobe Covington win over?
No, he beat Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler past his prime. Like he beat all these guys way past their prime. So like
No,
he didn't really
he
beat.
was kind of Covington was kind of like on a somewhat. He was beating contenders, but he had some those wins that were like like Robbie Lawler. He beat what was that dude? He was Korean. He was kind of good, but he kind of fell off. There's a Korean guy. I forgot his. I gotta look at his resume.
Okay.
He beat but Covington was. I'm telling you, man. I like Covington, even though he has that weird gimmick.
No, I don't really like him, but I respect his fighting style. Like I don't like that. I don't like like people say like it's an act, and it's like, well, you're a fake racist. Like I'm not down with that either. But I don't know. He never really beat anyone to Masvidal. Now I do like where he's going now, where he's like gonna fight everyone but Usman and try to beat all them and build his own resume. I like that, but let's see what he does.
Definitely. I mean, bro, who is there else to fight? Like he's just gonna keep fighting these contenders that keep coming in. I mean, he already went through everybody.
Well, he could fight.
Covington
He could
twice.
fight Gilbert Burns. He could fight
Again? Oh no, I'm talking about Covington.
No. Oh, you're talking about
Covington.
Usman.
Usman, yeah. Oh, Covington.
Yeah, Usman.
Oh, yeah, he can definitely fight these guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Covington, there's a bunch of guys that front. But Usman, yeah, he's almost at the end of his career. Usman can't even run. His knees are so jacked. So he's on the end of his career. He's got
serious? I didn't even know that.
He can't run at all. He hasn't been able to run for years because of wrestling. Because the thing with the wrestling, it's like it's so much on your legs. All those shots, like especially if you're like a double leg guy, you're just like that's a lot of pressure you're putting on your knees like 24/7. So yeah, he can't even run.
That's
So
crazy.
so who's he get? He goes through what? Leon Edwards, uh Chimaev, if he could get through Chimaev, and then like hopefully some kind of like money fight for like maybe with Conor McGregor or something like that, or maybe a boxing match with Jake Paul. But like the last one has to be like a money payout. But yeah, he's almost done with his career. He's not going to go much longer.
Definitely. Hey, the Canelo fight.
Oh, I know, that's why that damn thing won't
Definitely.
sell at all.
Man,
That's a
what?
horrible idea.
No, you don't think so? No, I think it sells, man. I
I
think
don't
it
think that sells
sells.
at all. I don't think that. I
Why?
mean, I think it's. Oh no, of course it's gonna sell. It's Canelo, and Usman does pretty good for pay per view sales, but I don't think it does like close to Canelo. It's not gonna do close to. I'm sorry, McGregor Mayweather. Like nowhere close to that. Like,
No,
and I don't
yeah,
think
because
UFC even thinks that's worth it. Like, why is it gonna be like? Why are we
no,
gonna
no, no,
sacrifice
no,
our
no, no.
best guy to get knocked out by
No, no,
Canelo?
no, no. They're worried about like if he won't be the same. So they're not. That's the. I heard an interview and they were saying that it's because like when Canelo fights, sometimes people aren't the same. So that's what they're worried is that he fights him and that he's not gonna be ever the same. Like it's kind of he calls it a career, like. But that fight won't happen unless Usman is still around later on. Like let's be real, like. He's not a Conor McGregor because obviously he sells pay per views, but he's not like what Conor McGregor was.
No,
Conor
he's doing
McGregor,
like he does like 500K, which is really good. I mean, like in boxing, he'd be like a superstar, right? But that's really
yeah,
how much is that the UFC doing? But that's what I'm saying. But he does very good for guys they have now and their lower level stars that they have now. He's like one of the top
no,
guys.
he's up there. He's up there, man. But
Yeah, he's up
nowadays
there.
in boxing, bro, they're lucky to even go over 300 buys. Like it's a weird
No,
time
no,
in
no.
boxing.
That's true. But also, how much is it? How much of it is the UFC selling those pay per views? I'm saying, like in boxing, no promotion is selling pay per views. It's the boxer. It's 100% the
Yes,
boxer selling the pay
that's
per
true.
views.
That's true.
In the UFC, it's the promotions on the pay per
Promotion.
views most of the
Yep.
time. Like I'm sure there's some fighters that increase it, of course, but it's the promotion. Like if Usman wants a Bellator, right, and he was a main event, are they gonna put down a pay per view? I don't think so. I don't think you could. I don't think
Showtime.
Bellator could do a pay per view with him.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
but
no. They could potentially because remember Showtime, Bellator's weird, bro. They were with the Zone, then they went to Showtime. Like I remember seeing Bellator. They've been moving around. Remember
but you think that Usman does 500K buys with Bellator? I don't think that at all.
I mean, it's on
No, I
Showtime
don't think
though.
he comes
I don't think,
close. I
bro.
don't think he
But I
comes
heard the
close.
Bellator guys get paid more though. Bellator's.
No,
I like
I think that's misleading. And I think the UFC doesn't pay their guys what they're worth, 100%. But
at
I think
all.
that it's misleading because I think that the Bellator will pay their mid-level guys that the UFC will not pay like their stars. Bellator will pay them like the stars that the UFC has. So I think that I think the Bellator will overpay for mid-level guys. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. But I don't think they're gonna I don't think if Usman goes there that they're gonna pay him some large amount of money way above what UFC pays.
Oh,
I
I
don't think.
forgot that's one championship. That's one championship.
Well, one championship does that? They pay
Yeah,
like fat?
yeah, they pay. Oh yeah, they pay. They took
I don't know.
Johnson. Remember the guy that was so dominant?
Well, they traded him. I mean, the UFC traded him for Ben Askren. Remember, they did a trade. So
Yeah,
yeah, they
that's
traded
true.
him. They didn't even know that was possible, but they did. They traded him for Ben Askren. I don't
Was
think
that a fair
honestly
trade?
these promotions like they don't make that much money, dude. Like they don't. The
But they,
Bellator doesn't have like a big payroll to like put on huge cards. It doesn't.
I
Only
know.
the UFC does.
I know, man. One championship has money, bro. Remember there was Pride FC. Pride FC had
I
money.
remember Pride did because it had oh, here we go. Broadway's got MMA. Every time Broadway says MMA thing, he's going on here automatically.
No,
Michael Venom
wanna
Page is my favorite MMA fighter.
Oh my god.
I love Michael Venom Page. I'm not gonna lie, I
He's
do like
funny.
Michael Venom Page.
I like when he came in the Naruto outfit. That was classic.
I think Michael Venom Page could be a star if he was in the UFC. Like he'd be a star.
Oh, definitely.
I really believe that.
He's British, right?
Yeah, he's British. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh my god, he could be a star. Imagine
With his
UK.
style too, like that is bad. Yeah, I think he's really good. I want to know how really good he is. He's fighting for the interim Bellator title because the guy that has the welterweight title for Bellator is in Ukraine, like Lomachenko and them. So he's gonna fight for the interim, and that's a way better fight for him because the guy that has it, he's like a wrestler, like a really good wrestler, and that's like his nightmare.
He's a beast. I've seen him. Yeah, another Eastern guy.
yeah. Those dudes are dominating, and I'll tell you, the sambo like wrestling, that crap is dominating.
Ukraine, Lithuania, any of those countries. Kazakhstan has a couple of fighters coming. They have a
lot of fighters. Kazakhstan, I mean not Kazakhstan, Dagestan. Dagestan has like all these fighters. Where Khabib came from
too. Yeah, they're coming. They're like, there's a lot of fighters coming up. There's one at welterweight that's undefeated. I can't remember, but he looks like Janabek.
Yeah, well, Khabib, he has all these. Khabib has all
Oh,
these
the
guys that
school.
like
His
he's
dad,
bringing
yeah.
along and as a trainer, and he's just like they're just like dominating. I mean, all these
Bro,
guys
they
are,
are dominating. He even
yeah,
said
they
it.
really are.
Bro, oh my God, they would be dominant force, man. They're
Uh,
everywhere and every.
Bro always said I have to make a video supporting MVP. He's way too good. I agree with you. I does not get the credit he deserves. If you look at that
Definitely.
guy's highlight reels, like it's better than anyone in MMA.
Man, I don't know, man. But I miss the Pride FC days, man. We got some good fights there. Like I was around when Pride was around. It was UFC. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Pride,
and there
and then there
was
was
like the do you remember when they put like Wanderlei on the front row and he had the pride belt and he was a
yep,
front row for the Chuck Liddell fight. And
yep,
like
and
that
then they
was like
had
they were talking back and forth and that
yep,
was supposed to be like, oh, they're gonna do it, they're gonna fight, and then like didn't fight for like 4 more years. And
yep.
I
Oh, the
was like
cross
that was the
promotion
most
fight.
yeah, and I was like that was the most boxing thing that UFC's ever
That's
done
some boxing.
was have
Yep.
two guys talk to each other and then not fight for 4 years. I was like, oh,
Real.
this is boxing. I was
Can't
like,
believe
I
Pride
recognize this.
FC. Pride FC was around. Strike Force.
Hey, Strikeforce was good. Strikeforce was the
Oh
closest thing
yeah,
to
yeah.
UFC that anyone's ever put together. Strikeforce was
Definitely.
really good.
Definitely. No, I like seeing MMA companies like besides the UFC because I like I like exploring. I like with certain guys like let's be real like certain divisions and other MMA companies are better. Like I think the light heavyweight division in Bellator is better than what UFC has. If we're being honest.
So light heavyweight.
And Bellator, it's
Oh
more
yeah, yeah,
competitive.
yeah. Because I don't
So
know if it's
Davis,
more
they
competitive,
got
but I don't know if it's better. But the
no,
light
they got
heavyweight
better
is
competition.
trash in the UFC, so you might be right.
Yeah, it
You
is
could be right.
trash. It's
Yeah,
trash.
it's
It
not
is
that great.
trash, man. Be honest, like John Hovic just lost to a guy that's like 40 some years old. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
Glover
saying
takes
he's
care of like
bad, but
no,
Glover's
he's
bro,
good, but
Glover,
he's not
but
like he would never be
like
champ any other era.
yeah, like that was crazy. That was an upset. And then you got the guy that he's about to fight. He's about to lose that. The guy that did that crazy knockout to Dominic
Jiri,
Reyes.
yeah,
Oh,
Jiri.
that was sad. That was sad to watch. Paul Gray should get up there, man. He deserves a title shot. Him and the other Russian guy that just fought
What's
Santos.
funny is that Paul Craig broke what's his name's arm
And then
Jalil, Jalil I can't think of his last name. He breaks his arm, right? Then Jalil comes back and knocks out who's that tall
oh, Walker.
Walker. He comes back and knocks out Paul
Oh,
Walker,
yep.
and then they rate him above Craig, and I'm like, what the hell? Well, Craig broke his
Bro,
arm like when they fought.
there's some like yeah, that's the one thing that every no combat sport, but yeah, that's some weird stuff I saw. Like that's
Well,
crazy. Like
the UFC controls their own ranking system. It's all not the best for the fighters, but the UFC controls the rating system so that if they don't think you're an exciting fighter, they're gonna raise you up the rankings
yeah,
slow as
they're gonna
hell
put you on. You'll be
because
on definitely. You'll be on pay per view one day, and the next thing you'll be on the prelims.
yeah. So like I was saying, well, Paul Craig was on the prelims like the other day. He was on the prelims to he was on the prelims to a free card like on ESPN.
Oh
He was
my
on the
god!
prelims.
Oh,
I was like, this
ESPN
dude just
Plus. Think
yeah. I was like,
that's
he just broke someone's arm.
yeah. And they don't. And example, like they know their cash cow Conor McGregor. He'll just out of nowhere get a title shot.
Well,
Like
Connor's supposedly getting the welterweight title shots. What he keeps
I saw
saying.
that. That's what I'm saying. But
He'll
bro, he
get
needs to get a
smoked, but yeah.
victory though. No, but
He hasn't won since the fight before. He hasn't won since Cerrone.
Cowboy.
He beat
Cerrone,
Cerrone, and
oh my god, that
I'll
was
be
just a one fight. That was
I'll
just
be
a
100% honest with you. I actually said this after the fight happened. When he misses the first punch and he kind of like floats. Remember, he kind of falls over Cerrone.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
I think he accidentally lands a knee in that, and I think Cerrone's hurt from that point on. So I think that when he starts landing the shoulders, Cerrone's already hurt. And everybody's like, "Oh, he's doing all these things." I'm like, I think he's just fighting a guy that's already out on his feet. I really thought that that's what happened in that fight,
Bro,
and
I
it
saw that
really
the
all
shoulder though. The way he
yeah the shoulder
that was kind of like that was disrespectful.
that was cool. It was really cool, but I'm
No,
just
it was
curious of
good, but I'm
how
saying that it was just like
I'm curious how awake was Cerrone during that. Was he hurt from that like accidental flying knee? I always wondered that. And Cerrone never commented on it, but I don't know.
man, Cerrone needs to retire, man. He's still fighting,
He's
bro.
still fighting. He fights. I think he fights. Does he fight this week? He
I
fights pretty
think so.
soon.
Yeah,
He
he
fights
fights
pretty
pretty
soon.
soon. Man, another one that they're doing kind of bad, and I'm kind of heartbroken. Tony Ferguson, 11 fight streak, never got an actual title shot.
Yeah, well, he screwed up a lot of those. I mean, he had a lot of weird things happen to him. He tripped on a wire and blew his knee.
No, but like, yeah, but he could have gotten a title shot, like, because Khabib.
Yeah, but he was kind of. No. Okay. So what happened? So he's gonna fight Khabib the first time. Khabib gets a stomach flu.
Yeah.
Then they signed up for the second time. right? And Tony blows his knee.
Yep.
And then they go. What was the third time? What happened the third time?
Bro, it was so weird. It was always Khabib got like
Ferguson and Gaethje. Why did they fight each other? Why did Ferguson and
because
Gaethje fight each other?
because Khabib restrictions, the restrictions.
Exactly.
Of
So that they couldn't make that fight. So then
that
Ferguson fights.
The fourth time. But there was a
the
third time
Ferguson
when
runs the
somebody was having
Gaethje.
weight issue. I don't know who had the weight issue, but somebody had a weight issue where they got sick and they couldn't. There was some.
Yeah.
I don't.
No. Remember, Khabib, he got the stomach flu from the tiramisu. He had like a dessert and he got the stomach flu.
Yep, that was that one. But I just can't believe that the fourth fight. I was kind of like, I'm not gonna put the blame, but I kind of was like, yo, that was nobody had control of that because COVID happened, and then he couldn't come to States.
Yeah, it was just like a fight that just wasn't meant to happen. And then he has the one with Gaethje, which is a damn good fight, and Gaethje puts on like the best performance I've seen like in a long time. Yeah, and he gets a title shot from that. And Gaethje does some good stuff against Khabib. He hurts him to the leg. He lands some big shots.
Definitely, man. And then the thing is with Tony Ferguson, because after that fight, who did he end up fighting? He fought Charles Oliveira, and then he fucking
Oliveira smokes him, puts a beating on him.
Yeah, like I've never seen him get dominated. Or Justin Gaethje, like it's talking about like
no, Oliveira smokes him worse than Gaethje does because Oliveira takes him to the ground and just I think he breaks his arm as well, right? I'm pretty sure he breaks his arm as well.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't tap
out.
And then that guy, what's his name? The fight that's supposed to fight Islam. The older Ben Dariush beats him.
Oh, like, Dariush. Yeah, Dariush.
Yeah, and then now he's fighting Michael Chandler. It's like, come on, bro. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of like, he leaves. But it's like,
yeah, Chandler. I think Chandler's gonna put him to sleep, honestly.
Yeah,
because Chandler's a little bit kind of coming down to like on the backside of his career,
man,
but he's still got a lot more left in
to be a champion, man. I don't know why he didn't go and take, bro. He led Charles Oliveira in that fight where he hurt him. Well, he let him off the hook.
Am I wrong, or was he interim champion? He was interim champion.
No, Michael.
Chandler
was talking about when Michael Chandler fought the Charles Oliveira. Dana White helped him out, and bro, he had him. He hurt him.
You heard him.
He let him off the hook. He had him on the ground. I don't know what he did. I think he said and then that cost him the fight. And then Charles Oliveira
remember he hurts him. Oliveira goes to his knees. Oliveira starts moving his head, and he tries to hit him when he's on his head. And then Oliveira goes to his back. And I don't believe I don't know. Does he fall him to the ground? I don't believe he does.
What he does is he does the where he goes and jumps from the air and then he lands on his back. Like he does that's a weird move where like you have someone that is on your back and you go and then you put them on your back basically. He jumped. Okay. Remember he did that weird thing where he goes like Charles Oliveira was on his back and then fucking Michael Chandler goes and just jumps and then lands on his back.
Man, I gotta see that fight again. I don't remember how Oliveira gets out of that round.
Yeah,
and then Oliveira comes back in the next round, hits him with a left hook, and
stops him. He didn't even choke him out. Remember, he got out.
No.
Because watch it. You're gonna remember me. He had him like
Oliveira is damn good. That's why I had Oliveira beating Dustin the whole time. I was like, Oliveira is very good at stand up. He's really good on the ground.
And then he fucking comes and chokes out Dustin Poirier. I was like, yo.
I knew he was going to be Dustin. I was like, Dustin to me is overrated. I really think Dustin's really overrated.
You think so? But what about Justin Gaethje, man? This is the time, man. Somebody has to come. If it's not him, it's going to be Islam. What do you think of Islam?
Ooh. I think Islam's damn good. I think he's really good. I think he's better stand-up than Khabib. I don't think he has to dominate as on the top as far as like striking on the ground, the ground and pound. I don't think he's as dominant.
Everybody was talking about that he was going to beat him. Bobby, people were just saying that. The guy that he just beat in one round that he took
Bobby Green? No, Bobby Green's a journeyman. Yeah, he's just journeyman. He just had a good performance 2 weeks before that, but but that was just hype. I was like, nah, he was never on that guy's level.
So he's basically like another Jorge Masvidal, except he had one performance and that's
because Masvidal kind of went on a good run. I think Masvidal went a good run. He knocks out.
He knocked out that British guy. What's his name? Moved up.
Till. He knocks out Till. He knocks out Ben Askren.
And he beats the shit out of Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz. Yeah, it's a good run. That's better than what Kobe's done.
Come back. He needs Nate Diaz, man. We need Nate Diaz, man. What
Well,
are they doing
he's
with
trying to
him?
get out of his contract. He needs one more fight. He can get out of his contract in the UFC so he
Bro,
can
they
go
should have
box.
made him fight Tony Ferguson. I would have been entertained by that fight.
They don't want to. They're only giving him fights he's going to turn down. They're trying to delay his contract because he wants to go fight Jake Paul. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh, that's gonna be badass. Oh, that's what
Yes,
he's on.
that's what he's trying to do. So Jake Paul's going to fight, I believe, in August. So that Nate Diaz
He's
trying to have a fight
in
now so he can
December.
get ready for the fight in August. And I think the UFC's kind of knows what's going on there,
that.
so they're kind of like trying to delay it.
Fuck it. Just who are they trying to offer him? You think they're trying to like give him some hard ass fight?
Well, so they kept offering him Chimaev, like, and they knew he was going to turn that down, right? And then yeah, they probably just offering him
like hard
yeah,
fights. Like,
wait, what?
they're offering him like hard ass fights.
Yeah, they're offering him fights they know he's not going to take because there's nothing to gain if he wins, and it's most likely a big giant guy that's going to put it on him. So yeah, they're offering him fights that he doesn't want. Obviously, doesn't want.
Might as well make Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz 3, man. They should have did that a while ago.
That's another rumor too that they're kind of waiting for that fight to happen. So because they know that Nate Diaz is almost done. They know Conor McGregor's kind of coming to an end, and they can just cash out.
Will like that, and then the casuals will buy them. No, but what they needed to do, bro, is how you want to get casuals is you gotta. I know it's sometimes weird coming like you need to at least have Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz get a win, and that's what get people interested because they'll be like, "Yo, let's look at their last performance. You're only as good as your last performance, and if they see you lose, they're like, But it's like sometimes that doesn't matter,
I don't think honestly the UFC. I don't think that crap matters. Like Tony Ferguson just got smoked like the last two fights, and he's still that.
No, with Ben Dajrouche, that was kind of a little bit closer. I just feel like his activity kind of got the best of him. Like,
but I'm just saying though, like he's coming off 2 losses, and people are still excited about him and Chandler. Losses. So, yeah, I don't even want. Connor's so big, he doesn't need to do all that. Like, build him up for these fights. Conor could just come out, roll out of bed, fight for the welterweight belt, and people will watch. People are going to watch, and they're going to be entertained.
Definitely. I'm just kind of like I said, I'm really disappointed. It's like, fuck, 21st versus Michael Chandler. I wanted to see Nate Diaz, man, but we never know, man. Like, I don't even know if 21st still has it anymore.
He doesn't. I can promise you. He does not have it anymore. He's washed.
Don't tell me that, man.
Tony Ferguson is done.
Anthony Pettis, Kevin Lee, Donald Cerrone, man, that was a good run, bro.
Yeah, but all those guys you named are basically retired. So yeah,
no. Anthony Pettis is in PFL. Yeah, I think he's a champion right now.
No, he's not champion. He lost in the tournament. No, Pettis lost in the tournament. He didn't even make it to the finals. He didn't even make it to the playoffs of the PFL. He got lost in he lost in the opening round.
But you gotta be honest. He was the world champion at that time.
He was good when he was in the WEC, and then he goes to UFC, wins the lightweight title. He was damn good.
UFC bought all these companies prior to
bought the WEC, and they bought the WEC to add the weight classes because the WEC was only
their own company. No, WEC was already owned by UFC in 2009. I think like it was its own company. They just had it like separate, and then they merged it in like 20.
Yeah, because remember they were just the lower weight classes. They were weight classes the UFC didn't have besides lightweight.
Yeah,
and then they brought them in, and they added all the weight classes.
Definitely, that was crazy. WEC, man. And then Strikeforce was just
Strikeforce. The main purchase of Strikeforce was the reason for that was to get Ronda Rousey. Right. What it was is remember Dana White didn't think that women's fighting was going to do anything. He was like, no one's going to pay for it. It doesn't sell or anything like that. And then Strikeforce hit gold with Ronda Rousey, and then he was like, "Oh, he went and purchased it and got Ronda Rousey, and that was it."
Was Ronda Rousey popping in Strikeforce? I don't remember.
Yeah. She just won the title. She won it from Gina Carano.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm just laughing because, like, I think Strikeforce was like kind of similar to Bellator because you see, kind of. I don't know. I get.
Wait, I want to make sure I'm right about the Ronda Rousey thing because people are gonna kill me if I'm right or wrong about that. Let's make sure.
Nah, they don't even know. Oh yeah, I forgot. You probably have people that know their shit.
I don't know. Honestly, there's not a lot of people that watch that follow me on Twitter that watch like MMA.
No, you got me, bro. You got me.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, you're like the only person I could probably talk MMA with because
people don't even know about Pride FC. Like, I go back with Pride FC.
You know what? No, I'm wrong. Misha Tate. She wanted for Misha Tate.
Oh,
I was like, it didn't sound right.
I think she just fought in Bellator. I think she's still around.
Misha Tate just fought in UFC.
No, I take that. I'm sorry, bro. That was the other girl that was like, who was the girl that was like 200, 300 pounds and she lost all the weight? She's still fighting. I can't remember.
Oh, you're talking about Gabby?
No, Cat something. Cat.
Sagano, Kat Sagano.
I think she was at Bellator. They were making a storyline that she lost all this
Maybe
weight. And
Kat Sagano. I didn't know that Kat Sagano weighed 300 pounds at one point in her life, but yeah, maybe Kat Sagano.
well, what do you think is next for Amanda Nunes, man? She went out bad.
Well, she lost the battle. I mean, they're gonna rematch that. I think she's probably towards the end of her career, and I wish they would have did the Valentina fight. I really wish Valentina would have been the one to beat Nunes. But
Definitely.
they're probably gonna rematch
they need the rematch. They need that rematch. They need to run it back again. Valentina, I mean.
Yeah. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, Nunes. I think she's probably coming to the end of her career. I thought I thought there were warning signs were there. I didn't think she was going to lose that fight, of course, but I thought warning signs were kind of there. She was getting hit a lot slower, getting slower.
What do you think? What's next for Francis Ngannou, man? I really thought Gane was really gonna. It was gonna be closer, but I mean, it was kind of like it was just slamming. He kept slamming him.
Yeah, that dude's obviously the best heavyweight in the world, and I think it's by a good margin. It just comes down to, is UFC going to pay him? And they're not going to want to. I think that honestly, he knows what he's going to get paid with the UFC. It's not going to be, like the biggest amount of money, but I think he knows what his number is. I think the problem is he wants other options, right? He wants to be able to go fight Tyson Fury. He wants to be able to make money outside of the sport.
Oh, that shit would sell. That shit would sell.
That would be huge. I think that would be huge. Would be huge.
Bro, like who is he gonna fight? He's pretty dominant. He's at a point where the heavyweight division. I mean, who can he rematch? Stipe.
You know who's coming? The one that's coming is Aspinall. He's from England. That guy's damn good. He could box. He could box.
Yeah,
he was a training sparring partner for actually Tyson Fury.
I know they're friends, man. He sent him. Bro, imagine, bro. A UK heavyweight champion in boxing and a UK. Oh my God, bro! He would have the whole UK. Oh, they know what they're doing, bro. I think the fight's gonna come in the year or two because they did that UK card. That UK card sold pretty good, bro. I saw it, bro. All their UK fighters showed out.
Man, Arnold Allen. I really like that guy. Man, Arnold Allen is bad.
I don't think.
Who? Eddie Hearn was there. Yeah, Anthony Joshua was there. Yeah, Joshua was there, and Chisora, I believe too.
Yep, and then the other one, Frank Clark, or there was another guy, I can't remember his name, but there was another heavyweight. Bro, these UK guys took over the heavyweight division, man. Like, goddamn, they have so many, like Joy, Joshua, Frank Clark, Fabio. I don't know, man. These UK guys.
The thing that's crazy with Joe Joyce is like he's past his prime. That's the thing that's funny. Like Joe Joyce is coming into like title contender past his prime, because if you've seen Joe Joyce before, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, he's a complete different fighter. He's like way faster, way more athletic.
Yeah. Oh,
right now, he's kind of like a shell of himself.
Oh, yeah. Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury Wilder card the first time. Oh yeah, he was
exactly. He was very good, very athletic. Now he's a shell of himself. He's more of like a, kind of stalks you, takes shots, and then breaks you down. And he's still very good. I still think he's one of the I think he's the dark horse to probably win it all. I think he fights Joshua, that'd be a nightmare matchup for Joshua. I think Fury would need to box him. Fury would need to go back to the old Fury to box him.
He's strong, bro. Like, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But they're doing this, and he's this with being past his prime. He's the old George Foreman. He's the old George Foreman, basically.
Bro, he's coming into. I'm just surprised he's 36. Like, holy crap! Like, he's 36, but I'm like,
he started super late.
But you, let's be honest, with the heavyweights, bro, they peak really late. Like, they peak like in their early 30s.
Yeah, but he's not peaking though. He's past his prime. That's what I'm saying. He's past his prime. Watch him fight 5 years ago. Watch him fight now.
I do see him more good. But what happened though? Like, did they like? Bro, I don't get like if you look at Joshua when he won the medal, like 4 years later, he won the belt. Literally 5 years later, he was unified.
I think he came in like at a really late age. I think he came in like right when he was like 30. I think he came pro like right when he was like 29, 30.
That's why. And Joshua kind of came in at the right time. But Joshua had a good promoter. He got on the fights he needed. He got him up there, bro.
Well, he's a star. I mean, Joshua's a star. If you're gonna be a star, you're gonna get the fights you want. Yeah, he's a star.
Bro, but he's a star. I like Joshua, man. And then, bro, Fury, nobody really like in the UK like had high hopes for Fury, and all of a sudden he's like, yo, that guy became the man. Like they knew he could box, but they didn't have high hopes of him. They were like, no, Joshua's our man. Now they kind of turned their back. Well, what I've seen, it's like with Joshua, they're just like, oh, it is what it is. But I mean, he's still a beast.
Yeah, well, I think Fury was really undersold, and then when he beat Klitschko, like people try to forget that because that fight was boring, but that was a
It
great
was boring.
performance. I
That
really
was a
thought that
great
was a great
performance.
performance. Yeah,
Klitschko
yeah.
was an 11-year run, man.
That's what I'm
11-year run.
saying. Yeah, and he's the guy that he out Klitschko in that fight, and I think people just wanted to forget it. They wanted to let it go, and when he put him in there with Wilder, I was like, damn, that's a good fight because this dude is really good. He gave Klitschko
Wilder.
a
Nobody
hard time.
favored him in the first fight. Everybody
No,
thought he was
no,
gonna get knocked out. Wilder was even the second fight they favored Wilder. Wilder was a favorite in both fights. In the third fight, we knew Fury
yeah,
had his
I
number.
think even when I saw that Fury came in really heavy in the second fight, I was like, oh, okay, Wilder's gonna knock him out. I was like, because he didn't take
No,
this
I knew,
training camp serious.
I knew that Fury was gonna box him. I didn't think he was gonna knock him. I thought he was just gonna it was gonna be like the first fight, except Fury was just gonna be like put on a better performance in the first fight. But I did not expect that. That was just like, yo, that was a performance of like boxing doesn't have that. No, probably because with bonuses, like he would have won a performance bonus.
Yeah, I was hearing someone talk, and the first fight, right? It was probably the close, not the closest fight, but it was a good fight,
No, it was
right?
the
I
closest that
thought
it was
Fury,
gonna get.
I thought Fury won. I still thought Fury won, but even after watching like a few times, I thought like Wilder did some good stuff in that fight that I did maybe wasn't catching when I first saw it. But I had seen someone did a podcast, and they were saying that that was actually one of Fury's worst performances. And I was like, that's a weird way to put that because I don't think how can you have a worse performance when you're fighting one of the best heavyweights in the world? And I can make an argument that you're winning on the scorecard. So you can't really say that. But he was like, compared to all his other performances, right? That's one of his worst. And I was like, that's a stupid way to look at it. It kind of bothered me when I heard it. I never, kind of never stopped thinking about the way that was phrased.
Yeah, no, but the first fight was like you said, it was the most competitive as it was gonna get. I mean, the third fight was somewhat competitive, but it was still like Fury was winning that by a long, long mile. Like
He was
Fury
winning like
was,
a majority of it. Yeah. Then Wilder would have these humongous moments, like where he drops him twice. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
then
then he
the
hurts him,
things,
but then Fury,
but
yeah,
really,
Fury
yeah,
was
most of
still,
it's Fury. Yeah, most of the fight is
yeah,
Fury.
definitely. What do you think of Lawrence Okoli? I really want to see a Bridgerweight, man. I really would need a Bridgerweight division, but
I
I'm
think
all for it.
I think it's an interesting weight class. I really do. I think
Bro,
that
you can have guys
you
like
could make an
Frank
argument that
Sanchez,
it
Lawrence
could be
Okoli.
stacked. Yeah,
No,
it
but
could be
people just
stacked.
don't. No, people just like you said, as boxing fans, they like to complain. No, we need Bridgerweight because think about it, cruiserweight, Bridgerweight. We'll have guys like Radius go up there. Lawrence, maybe McAvoy if he moves up, but like imagine there'll be a stacked division.
If
Like
you really thought about it, right, and you thought like who can actually make this weight, right, and if you went like Deontay Wilder, Usyk, Okoli,
only
Bradis, who am I thinking of
the
undersized?
Russian guy that was I don't know. He was having weight. I don't know if it was the weight issues or maybe he was, but I think he could. I don't know his what's his name? The guy that fought Usyk in the final. He could make it.
Murata. No. It's like that.
Masi or something.
Masayev.
Yep, Masiev. He could make it. The Bridgewaite could be stacked. Frank Sanchez would be good at that weight. He's
That's
not
what
a
I'm saying.
big heavy.
If you got those heavyweights like that are like those tweeners, right, in that weight class, and
Yeah,
you put them all there, that's a stacked weight. That's a
yeah,
stacked weight division.
definitely, man. And
But people are just kind of want to the heavyweight division. There's gonna be
complain.
like you're kind of messing with like the history of boxing,
No,
I guess.
you still got heavyweights, bro.
Yeah,
There's
you
still
still
it's a
could you could
you still
still,
got a stacked heavyweight division.
but even if you still do it, it doesn't interfere with the heavyweight division because
It
whoever wins
doesn't.
it could still fight the heavyweight champion of
Yeah,
the world. They're still right there, so it doesn't make
yeah,
any sense of why you'd
and
be
it's
against
gonna
it.
be right, and it's gonna be a champion versus champion. People just like to complain, bro. I'm all for it. Like I said, don't be surprised. It's coming. It's coming. The WBC did it. It's just a matter of time where they're gonna look at him like, yo, we can
You just
actually
gotta
have like
we just gotta get the right name. And I always thought that Deontay Wilder was the right name, right? Like if Deontay Wilder just
hell
said, like,
yeah.
I want to be world champion again, I'm gonna knock out everyone at Bridgerweight. It just said I'm the Bridgerweight champion of the world. Dude, it's
Yo,
huge
he
again. There's
would,
no way you
bro.
get
He
behind it
would,
because you just be like,
bro.
who could beat this
He
guy
would
Bridgerweight?
dominate. Nobody, because
Yeah.
he's too small. But and with the heavyweights, you're in a generation where like, dude, these heavyweights are huge. Fury, fucking
Well, you gotta
Joshua,
I
and
always compare it to
Joyce
like
is huge.
I always compare it to heavyweight. To the NBA, heavyweights to the NBA because like an NBA, right? You didn't have guys like Jokic and Embiid who can basically play point guard as 7 foot guys that are like 280 pounds,
Right.
right? They're more athletic now. They could do like people just like as we go on, like sports become like more advanced, athletes become more advanced. They could do more, right? So that's what's happening in the heavyweight division. Like Tyson Fury can do a lot more than most heavyweights his size could ever do ever in history. Like they would never be this athletic. So the fact that the heavyweights are becoming more athletic with that size, it's almost
Definitely.
unfair to the undersized
Right.
heavyweight. It's
Right.
just almost like
Definitely.
the gap's even wider
And
than it
you
ever was.
got guys like Kurgovic coming. Oh my, Kurgovic, the boogeyman.
Wait,
The guy
who?
that's
Oh,
fighting
Hergovich? Hergovich?
Kurgovic.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Bro, a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people did turn him down. Oh yeah, I forgot Joe. Oh no, Joe Parker's at the. I was gonna say no. He could. It's hard. Like
Parker
he's like because he's.
Parker turned
I
him
don't know. It's
down.
physical.
Uh,
Uh,
Ruiz
Luis
turned it down.
Ortiz. Ruiz. Yeah.
I mean, they turned it down because the money isn't there. So I understand. Like if it went up to like a purse bid,
No, but like to be honest, bro, like Reese, because he's already got a name, but like those guys don't need to be turned. They need to get their name up. Like Ortiz got his name up, but I know
I
what
don't.
you
I mean,
mean.
Ortiz probably got paid like 800 grand to fight. What's his name? Who do you fight right
Charles
now?
Martin.
Charles Martin. You probably got
You
paid like
think so?
800 grand for that. Yeah, it was a pay per view main event. It was for sure like bare minimum 750. Right, he got paid for that fight. So
Reese Ortiz.
what's the pay cut he's going to take on this one? Like, what's the purse bid
Oh,
going to be? Like 300 grand, and then you're going to split that up between them two?
oh,
Like
I'm
that
not
shit's
gonna. Yeah, I'm not
that's a
300
big
to fight
pay
for
cut.
Roglic. That's a definition
That's
of
what I'm saying. So that's why everybody turned it down because they were like, it's a tough fight. And the only one that was really up for it was Tony Yoka.
Yeah.
And then
What's
they
up with
pulled it.
Tony Yoka, man? He needs to get it together, bro.
He took
He
it. He
wanna.
took the fight.
No, no,
And
I'm
then
talking about like he's not in any rankings like high enough. Like he's not making any noise. Like it's been 2016, he's a gold medalist. By now, he should already be in title contention or like fight for a world title. But it's like,
he was a gold medalist, Yoka.
yeah, he won it. He beat George Joyce
Who
in the
was a gold
final.
medalist? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
So it was him,
He
George
hasn't, to
Joyce.
me, I haven't seen much like
Yeah,
massive
he's huge
improvement from him.
too.
Like he kind of like the same guy since he
Yeah,
turned pro.
he's huge too. But I think he's huge too. I don't know if he can. I think he'd be decent. He's just his body physique. Can he be Bridgerweight? Nah, he's too big.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's too big. He's like really tall.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
not like a. But here's the thing. What I'm saying is that if you look at those Olympics, you had Hrovic, which he's a key player now. Like, and you got George Joyce, which is another, and you had him. So it's like you have these three guys that could be potentially like. But we gotta see it from Yoga. I mean, if he took the fight, that means he wants it. But we gotta see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. He took it. He had the contract that was already signed, so he had to
Oh
fight.
yeah, he has
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fight
yeah.
him. When is that fight gonna happen?
I
I
think
thought it
it's
was gonna
soon.
be on.
Honestly,
I thought it was gonna be on the Fury undercard.
no, no, no. It's its own card. I believe. I believe it's on its own card.
Man, they should have got that card. That would have been interesting because you got two undefeated.
I think they're trying to spread the wealth because
Uh,
they have too much money on the main event for
yeah,
Fury and
no, he's
White.
fighting Mac. You know what's hilarious? He's fighting Macabu's brother,
Is
Martin.
it really?
Yeah, that's his brother. Look it up. That's his blood
Oh,
brother.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Macabu.
That's
uh,
a future Canelo opponent.
hey, it's a world champ. I don't know why people give him shit. Like, dude, he actually has a solid resume for beating the contender. I mean, he beat the contender. He's actually fighting the top guys. Like, but at cruiserweight, bro, they fight each other a lot. Like, there was always rematches. Let's be real. Like, cruiserweight right now is in a weird peak because you don't really know who. Because Brady's is lineal ring. Definitely, I have him on my pound for pound. Not because obviously, like, you know what but he was.
You have
He's ringing
Bradis on your
lineal.
top 10 pound for pound?
Yeah, because he's bringing lineal,
Oh,
bro.
I
In
can't
this
do that.
activity, bro, he hasn't really like. Let's be real, he hasn't really done anything in years. Like, bro, he's
What's his
messing around. He wants
What's
the
his
Jake Paul
biggest
fight.
win?
He beat Dorticos.
Oh, see that was a
No,
name I didn't
no, he beat
even
him to
know.
a decision.
I didn't even know who that
Dorticos.
is. But
Dorticos was a former what's it?
you
The
know what?
Cuban guy that
Before
actually gets like.
I used to be ashamed, like when I wouldn't know someone, like someone bring them up. You know what? And I watch boxing enough, right? Like I watch it enough. I'm on it, right? Like I'm watching all the story stuff. If I don't know you, it's your fault. It's not my fault anymore. I'm at the point now where it's
You're
not my
good, bro.
fault.
You're
If I
good,
don't know
bro.
you, it's your
No,
fault.
you're
Yeah,
good.
it's your fault as a
Just
fighter.
no. You're good. You're
I'm
good, bro.
telling you. I'm telling you.
He's a
It's the
Cuban
fighter's
fighter
fault.
that fights exciting, but he's not. He's not like he's a former world champ. Let's just say it's a good win. But cruiserweight right now is up for grabs because we don't know. Lawrence Okolie already said like he's not interested. He's just trying to unify with Raiders. Obviously, he wants that ring of lineal. Yeah, because he moved up to no. I don't think he'll be for ring of lineal because he's not even because after him it's Dorticos, and then he's like four. That's funny. They have Makabu was at number 2 at one point, but they kind of moved him down. So like he could have fought Braves for ring and lineal. But what was I gonna say that yeah, like he said he just wants to unify. So Lawrence Okolie is moving up sometime next year. So his belt's gonna go big. And Braves, I don't know what he's doing. Like he has to fight his man though. and then hopefully he'll unify. But I don't see the Brady's versus Okoye fight.
Who's Bradis' Mando?
Some Australian guy, but they're gonna move that to the Kaney Cabose's undercard. They just canceled it, but I don't know what they're doing. They're moving that to co-main event probably. It's some
Bradis
Australian
versus is going to be the
Australian
Cambosos.
guy. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, damn, that'd be
it's an
actually pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
but
be a good card. That'd be
they
decent.
canceled it out of nowhere, so it's like there's no other explanation. They just canceled it. It wasn't supposed to be May 11th, but they canceled it.
Who is Brady's with? What's his promotion?
I don't know. I honestly don't. It's some. I know he's not with. It's kind of hard to say who his promotion is.
Yeah, I don't know those guys like that. Like I never know who they're with or like who they have ties to. You know what I mean? But they had him like right there with Okoye. Like if that fight was going to happen, which is the one I want to see, they can make that
they were
happen.
just promoting, but he already had a fight. But I'm saying if it gets canceled, he wants the Jake Paul fight. I don't know what he's doing. He needs to move
He's not
up.
going to get the Jake Paul fight though. But
I know that's too dangerous. They won't even sanction that, bro. Like,
it's not too. Yeah, it's not too dangerous. It's murder, and it does nothing for Jake Paul. Like Jake Paul, I honestly think if Jake Paul even beat Bradis, most people would be like, "Who the hell is Bradis?" I mean, unfortunately, that'd be the situation there. Yeah, they wouldn't know.
Chavez Jr. would be more known. Chavez
Jr. is perfect. That fight needs to happen. That's a perfect fight.
No, but bro, he might park up the wrong shit. Like it depends on what are we getting.
Chavez Jr. is about like what does Chavez Jr. weigh right now? He's about 190 pounds, and 90 pounds of that is coke. So I don't know, you know what I mean? So I don't really know, we don't know where we're gonna get Chavez Jr. But I think him and Jake Paul, I would not be surprised if Jake Paul beats the hell out of Chavez Jr. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I wouldn't, like I'm telling you, man. Chavez Jr. is one of those guys where he'll lose a fight and then he'll come back and beat a guy that you're like, yo. I don't know. He might bark up the wrong tree, man.
I remember who's the guy he just lost to? What's his name? That guy wants to get knocked out by Morale. I can't think of his name.
Mario Caceres?
Yeah. So I sparred him. I sparred that guy before. And I remember when I seen that he was going to fight Chavez, I was like, this guy's actually not bad. I was like, he's not a bad fighter. I was like, I wonder if he could give Chavez a run for his money. He ends up beating the hell out of Chavez. I was like, I was like, damn. Then
but those people with the Morale fight, bro, he was actually outlanding. I think what it was, I don't know. I read some of his story.
I think he got knocked out like in the first round. But like,
bro, there was like 7 rabbit punches, bro. And doesn't he have back issues? I read a story that he said that he couldn't fight because of his back issues or something with his spine. So I'm like,
I don't know. I think he got knocked out like in the first round, like within the first few punches that Morale threw. So
no. They were going at it. He was landing Morale. It was funny. Like he was landing Morale, and then Morale hit him with like some rabbit punches and like just boom. But those rabbit punches definitely cost it.
It's a tough sell though. It's a tough sell though. If you get knocked out in the first round, it's tough sell to be like, I was doing what I wanted to do in there. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to say that if you get knocked out in the first round.
But if you look at the stats and letting them, I don't know.
It's a small sample size.
I know.
You know what I mean? If I run and sprint on Floyd Mayweather and he knocks me out the first punch he throws and I throw 3, it's like, okay, I threw 3 punches. You know what I mean?
What do you think of Caceres was a wild card, right?
Yeah, he was a wild card for a little bit.
Yeah. So was he good? Like, what do you rate him before you knew him? Because I think his story is interesting. He was a decent amateur.
He was like coming up when I was fighting there. He was coming up like as a pro. Like he was like his thing was like he had sparred Canelo. He had just come out like off of one of Canelo's camps. He was good. He wasn't never like to me like one of like the best guys in the gym ever. Like when we sparred, like I would do some work too on that fight. So like, and I'm not like a special fighter at all. So. Yeah, I don't know. He was good. He had like he showed glimpses. He's strong, very strong.
No, because I know like based on his story, it seems like he didn't really need to box. Like, he doesn't seem like he comes from seems like he comes from a decent family, like a good. I'm just like his storyline is interesting because
he's a very he's very cool. He's a very like very very cool guy. Like he's really he's actually has like a video with like he has like a post on Instagram or Logan Paul has a post with him.
Yeah,
like them training together. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. But he's a really cool guy. He's really, really cool. Like he honestly, like I remember we had to respar. Like he had gave me like some pointers and stuff, pointers. So he was good. He's a real cool guy.
Yeah, no, I just looked at his story, and he said that he couldn't box because of some condition he had, and then he met Nacho Burst and told him the doctor to see. But his story is interesting on what he used to do. Like he didn't need to box. It seems like he was doing good. I guess he did it for the love of the sport, but. I was gonna ask you, man. You saw Zurdo, man. You don't give my man respect.
I sparred Zurdo.
What year was this, by the way?
Damn, dude, that's a long time ago.
So that tells you, bro, because he started at
Maybe I was
160.
like,
Like I started like
I'm 31 right now. It's probably when I was like around 24, 25. I would say probably when I was like 24, 25. So it was a few years ago. But yeah, he's good. He's freaking Zurdo. He's bad. I mean, I'm not saying like he's a high level fighter. I never thought he was ever great at anything. Like when I didn't think his speed was like, oh man, this is like the fastest hands I've ever seen.
who
It
did he
wasn't
spar
close to
there?
that.
Like did you see him spar? Like did you see anybody he sparred in particular? Like what was he?
I've seen, I've watched him spar. I told you, like, I sparred him. I've watched him spar. I've seen him spar, like, even Shea Mosley Jr., who's fighting this weekend. I've seen him spar him. He sparred. There was a lot of guys in it. Like, the thing was, like, the way Wildcard works, like, the gym and the sparring, is that you have, like, pros from all over the world that come, like, sparring day. Like, they might not even train in the gym, but they come the day we spar, right? And maybe these guys aren't, like, on TV yet, or, right? But they're, like, the promoters are like taking in like they take a batch of fighters and they're like, this guy might be something. So you have like all the top promoters. These are all their guys that they think might be something. They may not be TV names yet, but so they all come on the day of sparring, right? You don't really, a lot of times you don't even know who you're going to spar. You just show up. And then everybody starts looking around, and then they'll be like, hey, what weight are you? What size are you? Okay, I got a guy for you. What's your experience? And then they start matching you up. So it's real nerve-wracking, like when you get in there, because you're like, oh, damn, who am I going to spar? I've never even seen this guy work before. I don't know what he looks like. And so like I've seen Zurdo go with a lot of high-level guys. High-level guys that maybe aren't like the best names, but I've seen him go in there.
Were they interesting? Like were they interesting
sparring?
Like,
to me, like he was always winning. Like I always thought, like, oh yeah, he's winning the sparring. But
no,
it was
but
just,
I don't know. Like I don't know how you see special. I like the way he throws an uppercut. He got like
I just okay, like
he's athletic.
There's
like,
just some guys that just like they have wow factor to them, right? There's like a wow speed or a wow power or something like that. That to me, he doesn't. He does no. I tell you, he's a very solid fighter. He's a high level fighter. He just doesn't have like a wow factor to me. And he didn't have it at 168. He didn't have it at 175.
We gotta see it. Let's see it. Let's see him.
Yeah, we gotta see it. Like, it's a higher level fighter. Yes,
and I can tell people, no, I like him because I saw him fight in person. I saw him as an amateur. So he got my respect, and like he showed me, he's made a comment. We had a couple conversations and here and there, and like it's just like, bro, at 168, I don't think anybody really wanted to fight him. Like, bro, like nobody called him out. He was beating guys that other guys were struggling with. Like, bro,
who was at 168 at the time? Right, he was with Top Rank. Who was at?
No,
who was at 168 at the time?
Because Benavidez, I don't think Benavidez was entitled. So,
I think, Benavidez was young at this point.
No. So George Gross, Callum Smith was coming up. You had Jack, you had James DeGale, you had Fedor.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you had yes, DeGale was the number one guy, and Badu Jack was coming up.
No, Zurdo was actually the number one guy.
No, I know, but I'm saying in my mind, DeGale was the best guy.
2015. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, DeGale's was the best guy in 168. He was with PBC. DeGale's with PBC. Badu Jack's with PBC.
Andre Durrell. I forgot about Andre Durrell.
Durrell's with PBC. Everyone else is on DAZN. So he was just on the wrong network. He was on the wrong promotion, right? Okay, so they had to kind of.
And I remember reading a story, dude. His manager actually sent who was Jack and Mayweather? Weren't they with TV Mayweather Promotions? They actually called it whoever that were handling their guys to send him an offer, and I never heard nothing. And he said that he wanted to fight him, and also he was beating guys that these guys were struggling with. Like if you saw that Porky Medina James DeGale fight, that was terrible. That was one of the Porky Medina was working.
What part of DeGale though fight was that? That was after
2016.
Badu Jack.
No,
that was after Badu Jack, right?
No, that was before. That was after
before Badu Jack. Okay.
Yeah. And then he goes and beats the living crap out of the guy that knocked out Jack in one round, like right after that. I think that was like a title eliminator fight. And he goes and dominates the best super middleweight in the world, like dominated him. Like that fight was pretty like, like that's why I always thought like, like he's beating guys that these guys are struggling with. And it's hardly to find up to now like rounds that he loses clearly, like up to like before right now. But that's why I always thought like, I think at 168, bro, he could have beat a lot of these guys.
Maybe I think he was just at the wrong promotion. I would love to see him versus. I think he was too young for DeGale at that point. Like DeGale and Jack would have probably been too much for him.
No,
he was a champion, but I think he might have been too young, honestly. Because DeGale at that point was bad. I mean, DeGale and Jack were bad. They had like one of the best fights of the year I've ever seen. Those are high level guys at that point.
Porky Medina was working him, and Zurdo beat Porky Medina at 17 when Porky Medina was undefeated. I saw the fight live, bro. He beat the crap out of him. Like, bro, it was pretty bad. Like, and Porky
I think his problem is he's always on the wrong promotion. He's on the wrong side where he can't find the opponents.
No, this time it wasn't really his fault because let's be honest, Vivo took the better fight. Like he did what he was
Yeah,
supposed to
but
do.
I never really thought that him and Bivol was gonna happen. It just always seemed like it was
No, they were
Todd. Like it was seemed like something De La
no,
Hoya
no,
was
no,
bringing up.
no, no, no. They were negotiating, bro. He said it. I saw an interview. He said it himself. They sent an offer. They were and then they went with Canelo. He's not mad that Canelo took it, but he said he did his thing. So there's not, and then he can't fight the better beef winner because there's a Mando already for Yard, unless Yard wants to fight him. But dude, Yard lost his spot. Like
So where does he go now? Does he go Smith? Does he fight
I
Smith?
heard some
That's a
rumors.
good fight.
I heard some. He can't but then fighting the loser, like no, he's gonna fight somebody. But just I heard some. Don't be surprised if we see him at cruiserweight in the next few months.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. We gotta make something happen at this
No,
point,
but the
right? You gotta make
WBA
something
might
happen.
just work with him because they do owe him a title shot. I mean, he did fight the Eliminator, but you know these sanctioned bodies, they have to mandate it, and don't they have up to 6 months to mandate a fight?
You see that I know nothing of the rules of these sanctioned bodies. I don't
Oh,
believe
they're
in them.
weird.
I don't think they're real things. I think that they're made
No,
up
but
laws that they create.
they
The
are.
thing it's like was you ever play Fortnite? You ever watch Fortnite
Yeah.
played?
Oh, of course.
Okay, you know
Yeah.
how people just build stuff like it's
Yeah.
just like you're shooting at them, they just start building. That's what the sanctioning bodies do. They're just Fortnite
No.
players. They just
Yeah,
build
and they
these
do.
rules to get out of whatever hell situation they're in at that point. So they have you guys at a
Definitely.
tournament, and then suddenly Ugas is out of the tournament. This guy has a bye week. He goes to the fight. The other guys are still in this tournament for who the hell knows what now if they win. And Ugas is fighting Earl Spence. They removed the guy that was the legit champion in the tournament that these guys were fighting for the belt. Now he's out of there, and they're still having the tournament for some reason.
Right. That's kind of
None of
weird.
these things make sense. Yeah, no, it's not kind of
Yeah.
it's nonsense. It's all nonsense. So
And
I
I've
don't
seen
buy
stuff like
anything.
you said. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if WBA talks to him and be like, yo, we didn't get you a title shot, but we can give you a cruiserweight shot right away without, like, you can cut the line. I've seen stuff like that happen, man.
The thing
Where,
is,
like,
so
guys
too,
don't get
that he's not like that big. You know what I mean? Like I think
No,
175. Like I
no,
don't think
he's
he's
pretty.
like big to where he's gonna carry to what 195. You think he's gonna carry
Bro,
to
I
195?
think he could beat Makabu. I heard Makabu and him were
Maybe
in talks.
Makabu, but I'm just saying, no, he's not that big of a guy. Like
No,
I'm
he
just
could
saying, like
beat the other guy. Who's the WBA champion? I can't pronounce his name, but he's okay. He's not that, like, let's be real. I don't know if he's like at that level. The only one I can see obviously is Bradis, but Bradis is about to leave. Lawrence Okoli, the guy that's about to pick up the title, if he leaves, he could beat a lot of those contenders. The only one obviously is Bradis, but like obviously the size difference. But like you said, he could go up like and catch a belt, just get that belt quick, make
I think
history,
it's
and
smart. I think it's smart to get like the Makabu belt and then just tell Canelo. I would just right away be like Canelo. I wouldn't even call it a belt. I'd be like, this is the bait. Come get it. That's all I would say. That's all he has to say.
No. But he knows that Canelo might. But here's the thing, though. He can unify too. That I'm telling you. Look at the WBA champion. Watch his highlights and tell me if he's. I mean, what do you think of him? Like, I
Who
think
is
that's
it?
the
Who
pretty
is it?
one. Arasan something. It starts with the A because he's undefeated, but he's I don't want to say he's not elite. He's good, but Zurdo could beat him. Like Zurdo could beat a lot of these guys, the contenders. I've seen that. I did some research. He beats a lot of these guys, bro. Like some of the cruiserweights are a bit small too. The only one obviously is Lawrence Okoli, but he's moving up, and Bradis is I don't know what he's doing because Lawrence Okoli is not staying there going to speed. He's just trying to unify and move up.
I actually too, and I know what's his name, his trainer, Julian. Who's a young guy. He was an amateur when I was coming up. He was like me. He was coming up too, like as a
Julian
fighter,
Cha?
and then he just
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Julian
and he
Cha?
just became he became a trainer, like kind of like out of nowhere to me. But he was
Yeah.
actually a very good fighter. That guy, he was a really good fighter.
I don't know, man. I've seen some improvements. I like this. I want to see.
No, I do. I think Julian is actually a very good trainer. I think that later on we'll be talking about him with a lot of world champions. I really believe that. I think Julian's a very good fighter.
And Zurdo got his promotion, man. Be on the lookout. He got a young guy in those weights, John Ramirez, dude. That guy's pretty.
I just saw him fight. Scrappy.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, I saw him fight at the. He just fought the undercard of.
Alexis Rocha versus Luis.
Yeah. I just saw him fight.
Yo, we were
I
gonna
just saw him
talk
fight.
about that, man. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be on the show a few weeks.
Oh yeah, you canceled me twice.
It was work, bro. I'm apologizing.
Yeah, I got
but
you,
I'm here,
you.
man. I made it to you.
Respect.
No.
No.
You want to talk about? Because we were trying to talk about like the audience and the.
Oh, dude. It's okay. Listen, I'm Mexican. I'm gonna be honest. I'm Mexican, right? But I don't speak Spanish or anything like that, so I can't a lot of Mexicans look at me kind of sideways, right? Just because I don't speak Spanish. I've never been to Mexico, but I'm Mexican. I couldn't even help it if I wanted to. I'm Mexican. That's just what I am, and I'm proud of that and everything. But I think that I wasn't liking the representation of our
Oh,
people at
how
that
people
place,
were
and I
acting.
thought,
Yeah,
dude, it was racism. Like it was just
yeah.
full on racism, and I'm talking
People were
about to the
just being
level.
petty.
And I'm talking yelling it. I'm talking saying things that I'm not gonna repeat, but they were just
Yeah,
yelling it. Like if it felt
being
like when you watch those movies of like an old baseball game and they had like Jackie Robinson and like the crowd's just yelling out racist stuff. That's what it felt like. And I was like, dude, this is
that was pure ignorance. First of all, bro,
yeah,
they
it's
need to look
ignorance
at history. This guy
and
lived in the country of if you're third in our family, he actually trained and lived out there, so he knows some more of the cultures. Like, dude, he shows respect. Like, and I
and
like cops, bro. I don't get why
yeah,
people complain. Like, I was
and
upset.
we
I
just
was a
have to
little
stop just being racist, even if he's not from Mexico, been in Mexico, or even knows the thing. It's just like
yeah,
it honestly, dude. If
yeah,
I'll be honest with you, I see it, and it just makes me not want to go to the fights. And I think we have to
exactly.
really
Yeah.
call out the fans for it because
Yeah,
it
no,
can't just
and
let
I've
it
seen
keep
it
going
on
the way
both
it's going.
sides. Yeah, and I've seen it in another when it's like I've seen it like when a Eastern European fighter comes, like they'll yell certain shit. Like I'm not gonna repeat, but they'll like
Yeah,
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 that's the problem in boxing. It's too like and I know, like I said, bro, it's just the fact that like they boo this guy. Like, yo, this guy is just trying to be a promotion. I just thought that they saw him and they went with Rocha, but it's like yeah, it was unnecessary,
yeah. It's
man. Like
fine. It's
that.
fine. Okay, are you going for Rocha? You feel like he's your countryman, or you feel like you relate to him? That's fine, right?
Yeah, but
But
don't
to
be
go the next
disrespecting.
step,
Yeah,
exactly, to next
yeah,
step further, this guy, when it comes down to it, the guy's still fighting for your entertainment, even if you're rooting
yeah,
against him. He's fighting for your entertainment
yeah. And
at
I
that
don't get.
point, right?
No, but yeah, definitely. But they don't
and
even
and
know his
and the
backstory. And I think,
disrespect and the
yeah,
racism like that, I'm not down for it. And I'm not
nah,
gonna be
definitely
I'm
not.
not gonna be like, oh, these are my people. I don't give a damn about that.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't give a damn about any of that. I'm not gonna put up racism, and I'm gonna call it out. And
definitely.
that's what I
I would have
felt.
said something. That's why I would have been like, yo, when I saw, I would have, if I was there, I would have been like, yo, this is disrespectful. Like, I like cops, man. I like how you promote it. I
Dude,
like how
I do like cops, and and honestly,
everybody
I
kind of
was
went.
already kind of rooting for cops going in, but that really made me want him to win. I was like, I hope cop pulls this out. Now he didn't,
Yeah, just to shut
unfortunately.
the
Rocha's
fuck
a
up.
good
Yeah.
fighter. Yeah,
No,
Rocha's
Rocha's
a
a
very
good
good
fighter.
fighter.
I
Yeah,
kind
that was
of
a good fight.
underestimate him. I really thought Rocha didn't have it because, bro, in his fights, he always has to be losing to come back. Like he gets tagged up a lot, bro. Like he always like half the time. I'm not saying all his fights, but like in the fights that he's supposed to. He like with Brad Solomon, he almost didn't pull that one off.
You know what the fight I never saw was him versus Rashidi Alice. Is he get
And
smoked in that fight?
people, like I said, bro, people just like amping up. It was a good fight. Rashidi Ellis won, but he had his moment. He caught Rashidi Ellis with some stuff in that fight. You got like he. I just
I have to
think
go
the
back
speed
and
was
watch that
different.
one, especially with Rashidi going to PBC. I want to see. I gotta go back and look at his
Rashidi.
track
I'm gonna
record.
tell you this right now. Rashidi's fast, but that chin is gonna get like I'm not gonna say he's chinny, but I'm telling you, bro, if he gets caught,
The warning
he's
signs are
fast.
there. The warning signs are
Yeah,
there.
the warning signs are there. I think Virgil Ortiz would have beat him. I think he would have had Virgil Ortiz looking, missing, but Virgil Ortiz would have eventually caught him and stopped him. Like Rashidi got speed, don't get me wrong, but I'm that power. I don't know if he has that pop though, because he don't hasn't have the experience yet. Like I've seen some of his fights. Like you only as good as your competition. So eventually, when you
Exactly.
go in there, yeah. So he got speed. Don't get me wrong. If he gets his competition, but the experience is gonna be the factor. So they better like work with him, get him in there with I would say Luis Colazo, but Luis Colazo's done. It's like don't throw him in there with someone that's like way more experienced than him because it's gonna show.
Oh, okay, okay. So he's kind of still like a project. He's still a project. You got to bring
He's
him
a
up a little bit.
prospect, yeah. Because I mean he doesn't have some of his fights have never really went 12 rounds. They've always been 8, 10. That Rocha fight was 10. I think the most he's been is 10.
Yeah, I got to see. I'm gonna go back and look at some of this stuff. All right, Polo. I appreciate you doing my podcast, man. That means a lot to me. I thought you did a really good job. Honestly, I thought you came in firing. You came in with a lot of energy, and you made a lot of good points. And
Yeah.
I hope you do it again.
Definitely, bro. Let me know, brother. I got you. I'll come in again. I won't cancel. It's just, man, you got me at the wrong time. I'm like, yep, let's
Nah,
do it.
I understand,
Do
man.
you
You got
just go
working on that.
Thursdays or what? You just do it
I
every
only okay.
Thursday?
So I got I have another podcast I do on Spotify and Apple, like just a audio only. So I do
Mm-hmm.
that. I do the boxing or MMA one. I separate them. So I do one Tuesday, I do one Wednesday, and I do the live one on Thursday. So yeah, just Thursdays I do a live one.
Okay. I was gonna say if you do boxing, let me join. We'll talk again for boxing. Yeah, like I said, and I get off like around your time when you told me. It's just that day I got caught up, but I usually get off around the time 9 p.m. 7 p.m. your time. So I'll have time. I'll jump in,
Yeah, yeah.
even if
Let
it's
me
a
know,
little
man.
later. Definitely.
Yeah. You don't have to be in right away. Just let me know. Let's say, hey, send the invite, and I'll send the invite. You hop on.
Definitely,
All
man.
right,
You're
man. I
about to end
appreciate
it?
it. Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up right now. I
All right,
gotta
for
go.
sure.
My
Have a great night,
girls will
man.
probably be pissed. You too, man.
I,
Have a good one. Hey, thanks for listening, guys.
yeah.
Peace.